Good morning, welcome back to the Ponds Forge International Sports Centre for another day of competition here at the Speedo Aquatics GB Next Gen Championships for 2025. Our officials are making their ways to their positions, and this is what we've got coming up over the next couple of hours for you in this morning session of heats. We will have women's 200 metres freestyle, men's 200 metres breaststroke, women's 200 metres backstroke, men's mixed classification 200 metres individual medley, women's mixed classification 400 metres freestyle, men's 100 metres butterfly, women's 50 metres butterfly, men's mixed classification 100 metres butterfly, women's mixed classification 50 metres butterfly, and men's mixed classification 50 metres backstroke. Well, I hope you were with us last night for an exciting session of finals there, and I hope you can stay with us for another day of really great action, celebrating the performances of all of these swimmers and everybody who supports them. We really appreciate you showing your support by joining in and watching on the stream. It's great to have your support and to give our support to all of these swimmers as they try to give their best at these end of season championships. We will have 11 heats of women's 200 metres freestyle and 9 swimmers in heat 1. And as you can see, they'll be in two different age groups, 13s and 14s, one age group, and 15 years for the 3 swimmers in lanes 3, 4 and 5. Here we go then, heat 1. And our swimmers in heat 1 from the far side of the pool are Dongi Vo for City of Sheffield, Autumn Claxton for Mount Kelly, Emma Hill for Teddington, Maisie Jones for City of Cardiff, Maya Loon for University of Aberdeen Performance, Olivia Taylor for Leamington Spa, Maya Orfanidis for Chelsea and Westminster, Mia Hawkins for City of Birmingham, and Esme Wykes for Millfield. First to turn then in 29.45 seconds in lane 7, Autumn Claxton for Mount Kelly. And Autumn is swimming in the 13-14 age group. Second at that turn was Olivia Taylor in lane 3. And Olivia is in the 15 years age group. If you're watching us for the first time this week, the swimmers are separated into different age groups. They're swimming for places in different finals and classifications in different competitions effectively. 100 metres gone, and our leader here is Autumn Claxton, ahead of Maya Loon now in lane 4, up into second place. Olivia Taylor, the swimmer closest to us in this leading pack. 3 swimmers out in front then. The leader on the far side, Autumn Claxton, then Olivia Taylor closer to us, and in lane 4, Maya Loon. Personal bests in this heat are around 2 minutes 11. So if anybody swims under that time, you know it's been a good swim. And leading with 50 metres to go there at the turn, Autumn Claxton, 1:36.50 at that turn. She was followed in there by Olivia Taylor and Maya Loon. And all of the swimmers now set their sights on the wall and giving everything they've got left. It's going to be either Olivia Taylor in lane 3 or Autumn Claxton in lane 7, and it's going to be Olivia Taylor in 3 to come in first here. 2:10.79. That's a PB for Olivia Taylor. Autumn Claxton 2:11.43. And Dong Gi Yo was third there, 2:12.32. And you'll see on the results here, swimmers in different age groups. Olivia Taylor with the fastest time, the fastest 15-year-old so far, and Autumn Claxton, the fastest 13 or 14-year-old so far. On we go then to heat number 2. And the swimmers in Heat 2 are India Brown on the far side for Plymouth College Aquatics. Then it's Amelia Fenner for Basildon and Phoenix. Innes Lockhead Cantabella for Brompton. Alana Henry for Killer Whales. Tyler J. Thomas for Medway Maritime. Rose Benson for City of Milton Keynes. Eleanor Porter for Camden Swiss Cottage. Erin Perman for Exeter City. Summer Martin for Wickham District. And Lydia Shipley for Middlesbrough. Amelia Fenner turning first in lane 8, 29.70 seconds. Amelia's in the 15-year age group. So too Rose Benson, who was second at that turn in 30.02. Our fastest 13.14 swimmer at the halfway point, at the 50-metre point there was Tyler J. Thomas in lane 5. Going very well then in the orange cap on the far side. That's Amelia Fenner swimming for Basildon and Phoenix. And we get to the halfway point. And Amelia turning there in 62.21 ahead of Innes Lockhead Cantabella. And then Rose Benson, Tyler J. Thomas. India Brown was 5th at that turn, just ahead of Summer Martin. PBs in this heat around the 2-minute 10 mark. So anyone going under 2:10 has had a good swim, as a rule of thumb. Right up with their best performances ever. Amelia Fenner turning in 1:36.07. Innes Lockhead Cantabella was second at that turn, followed there by Tyler J. Thomas. Summer Martin 2 lanes from the bottom, looks like she's finishing strongly, and Lydia Shipley at the bottom in lane 0. So we're looking for as many times under 2 minutes and 10 seconds as possible here. I think we're going to get a few. It looks like Amelia Fenner on the far side, then Summer Martin on the near side. They're first and second, 2:09.46 and 2:09.96. Good swims for both there. Innes Lockhead Cantabella with a PB, 2:10.63 in third place. Tyler J. Thomas almost on her PB in 4th place there. 2:09.46, the fastest time we've seen so far after 2 heats. Tyler J. Thomas, a 13-year-old swimmer, of course, in the 13-14 age category. On we go to heat number 3. And our swimmers here in heat number 3 are Anaya Singh for Reading on the far side of the pool, Grace Clues for City of Coventry, Rin Mayo for Barnet Copthall, Kira Johnson for Wigan Best, Molly Norton for City of Leeds, Viana Safi for City of Salford, Rose O'Brien for Portsmouth North Sea, Madison Markle for Guildford City, Amelia Wright for Harrogate District, Lily Rose Unwin in lane 0 for Stockport Metro. First to turn will be Amelia Wright then for Harrogate District. 29.44 at that turn. Second in the turn was Madison Markle in lane 2, and then Viana Safi, followed by Rose O'Brien. So a group on the near side of the pool pushing each other along in the early parts of this heat number 3. Certainly swimming as a pack at the moment, the 5 swimmers on the near side of the pool. And first to turn at the halfway stage in lane 4, Viana Safi. 61.95 seconds for the first 100 metres there for Viana. And she's going very well now in the yellow cap for City of Salford. 2 lanes from the top, Grace Clues coming through here. And in lane 6 as well, going well, Kira Johnson in the black cap. And in lane 3, Rose O'Brien for Portsmouth North Sea will turn second here, I think, with 50 metres to go. Yep, it's Safi, then O'Brien, Johnson, and then Markle. Swimmers in this heat have got PBs around the 2:09 mark. So you know, anyone who swims quicker than that will have a PB automatically. And this is becoming quite a good race here in lanes 3 and 4. Rose O'Brien in the white cap for Portsmouth North Sea, and Viana Safi in the yellow for City of Salford. And it looks like it's Rose O'Brien who's going to come through. Not much in it here. Trying to get under 209. It's 209.33 for Rose O'Brien. Viana Safi 209.61. And Grace Clues 210.60. Rose O'Brien with a PB there by 0.4 of a second. Viana Safi also with a personal best time in second place. The swimmers in the 13-14 age group who swam under 210.82 will qualify for the final. So that's Rose O'Brien, Viana Safi, Grace Clues, Madison Markel. The first 5 swimmers there will qualify for the 13-14's final. We'll wait and see for the other age groups as things progress. On to heat 4. So in heat 4, our swimmers are on the far side, Evie Louise Handley for Oakhampton Otters, Francesca Harrison for City of Leicester, Ellie McLeod for Woking, Ellie Hull for City of Birmingham, Holly Gent for City of Leicester, Emmy Sherrod for Torfen Dolphins, Bella Jones for Royal Tunbridge Wells Monson, Sophia Kelly for Tadcaster York Sports, and Olivia McCall for Repton. Lane 0, as you can see, empty in this heat. And first to turn there, Bella Jones in lane 3, 29.57, just 1/100th of a second quicker there than Emmy Sherrod in the lane next to her in lane 4. Swimmers in this heat, we've got 3 in the 13-14 age group, and they are in lanes 7, 6 and 5, Ellie McLeod, Ellie Hull and Holly Gent. And I'll let you know on the qualifying standard for the 13-14 final when we get to the end of the race, and try and hopefully tell you who's qualified. First then at the turn, Emmy Sherrod, or rather Bella Jones ahead of Emmy Sherrod. And leading here then at the moment in lane 4, it looks like Emmy Sherrod just ahead of Bella Jones with 50 metres left to swim at this turn. Sherrod in 4, Jones in 3 and Sophia Kelly in lane 2 joining them at this point. In this heat, PBs are 2:09, so anybody going quicker than that will have a PB automatically. So it's Emmy Sherrod also going well. 2 lanes from the top now. Francesca Harrison finishing strongly. And in lanes 5 and 6, Holly Gent and Ellie Hull. But it's going to be Emmy Sherrod who gets to the wall first in 209.31. Second, Holly Gent, 209.93. And Francesca Harrison in 210.01. From the 13-14 category there, Holly Gent qualifies for her final. Ellie Hull will qualify as well. Ellie McLeod will have to wait and see with that time. And to get in the 15s final, 209.96 is the cutoff at the moment. Here comes heat 5. Swimmers in heat 5 are Honor Fox for City of Cardiff, Iris Hurst for Warrington Warriors. Lane 7 is the empty lane. Then it's Tilly Collymore in 6 for Millfield, Janie Finch for City of Leicester, Eva Ives for Hatfield, Eva Higginbottom for Swindon Dolphin, Rosalie Anderson for City of Cardiff, Malika Onebrauchek for Barnet Copthall, and Alexandra Nerney for Hatfield. Turning first there was Tilly Collymore in lane 6 in 29.02 202.86 seconds. And second at that turn in lane 4, Eva Ives. So Tilly Collymore out in front. Ives in lane 4. And on the far side going well, Honor Fox for City of Cardiff. 2 lanes from the top, Iris Hurst as well. And in lane 5, Janie Finch for City of Leicester. It's Collymore, Ives, Fox and then Finch at the halfway point. 62.63 for Collymore, 63.10 for Ives, 63.2 for Fox. We have 75 metres left to swim. The swimmers here are in 3 different age categories. We've got 15 years swimmers, 16 years swimmers and 17 and 18s swimmers. Coming up to the final turn then, it's still Tilly Collymore, followed by Honor Fox. Eva Ives in 3rd place at the moment. She's in the 16-year age group. Iris Hurst, who was 4th at that turn, is in the 15-year age group. So Tilly Collymore looks like she's going to come in here first. And let's see what time she can set. Going well then, Honor Fox on the far side, and in lane 3, Eva Higginbottom. And Tilly sets a time of 2:08.08, the fastest we've seen so far. Honor Fox, 2:09.57. 3rd place there, Eva Higginbottom in 2:09.93. Eva Higginbottom in the 16-year age category. We've still got 15 swimmers to come in the 16 years category. In the 15s, Iris Hurst there, 2:10.96. That's a wait and see time. All of those 15-year-old swimmers will have to wait and see if they've been quick enough to get in the 15s final. On to heat number 6. And the swimmers in Heat 6 are Evie Cutter for Wigan Best on the far side of the pool. Then it's Kerris Griffiths for Pembrokeshire County, Megan Higgs for Millfield, Layla Weatherspoon for Heart of Midlothian, Amy Hempenstall for Guildford City, Charlotte Surrell for City of Birmingham, Elizabeth Warner for City of Leeds, Rebecca Coogan for Thurrock, Grace Wingham for Corby, and Sophie Davis for Millfield. Lane 7, Megan Higgs turning first, 28.87, ahead of Grace Wingham. And then it was Kerris Griffiths, Sophie Davis and Evie Cutter at that turn. We have swimmers in the 15-year age category here. In lane 8, Kerris Griffiths, and lane 3, Elizabeth Warner. 16-year swimmer, that's Evie Cutter at the top of the screen. In lane 9. As we come to the halfway point in this heat. And first to turn there in lane 1 was Grace Wingham. Second at the turn then, Megan Higgs in lane 7. Sophie Davis in lane 0 going well. And in the other outside lane, Evie Cutter also swimming well. As we come towards the last turn, we've got 5 swimmers out in front here. Reading from the top of the picture, Evie Cutter, Megan Higgs, Charlotte Surrell, Rebecca Coogan, Grace Wingham and Sophie Davis. But it was Surrell who turned first in 1:35.29. And it's a very strong finish at the bottom of the screen here for Sophie Davis. In lane 4, Charlotte Surrell in the white cap. And 3 lanes from the top, I think in third at the moment, Megan Higgs. We're looking for times around 2:07 here for PBs. It's going to be just about on that pace. Sophie Davis, 2:08.20. Second there, Charlotte Surrell, 2:08.55. And third, Megan Higgs, 2:08.91. Let's have a look for the 15-year-olds' times there. Keris Griffiths, 2:09.6. She'll be in the 15 years final with that. Elizabeth Warner will miss out on the 15 years final with 2:13.97. And everybody else has to wait and see. We've got more than 10 swimmers to come in the other age categories. This is heat number 7. The swimmers in Heat 7, Poppy Worthington for Mount Kelly, Isabel Price for City of Birmingham, Izzy Blackhurst for Taunton Dean, Maisie Dickinson for Wickham District, Asta Maddox for Millfield, Alyssa Lowe for City of Leicester, Amber Hinton for Dumfries, Heidi Corbett for Guildford City, Erica Shepherd for Leamington Spa, and Isla Roberts for Hackney Anaconda. In lane 5, Asta Maddox for Millfield will turn first here. 29.36 seconds ahead of Izzy Blackhurst in lane 7 and Heidi Corbett in lane 2 at that turn. Going well, Izzy Blackhurst 3 lanes from the top of the screen now on this second 50. Coming up to the halfway turn. And Asta Maddox still in the lead. Second at that turn then was Izzy Blackhurst in 61.77 seconds. A group of 4 swimmers in lanes 4, 3, 2 and 1 swimming together really now in a pack. Alyssa Lowe, Amber Hinton, Heidi Corbett and Erica Shepherd. And probably just going a little bit quicker than them in lane 6, Maisie Dickinson for Wickham District. It's Maddox, Blackhurst and then Dickinson at the final turn. Into the last 35 metres now then in this 200 metres freestyle heats. And it's going to be Asta Maddox. Strong finishes from Izzy Blackhurst and Maisie Dickinson as well in 7 and 6. But Izzy Blackhurst closing in third there. Asta Maddox first in 2:05.96 seconds. The fastest we've seen so far and a PB for Asta there. First time she swam under 2:06 in this event. Second, Maisie Dickinson, 2:07.13. And Izzy Blackhurst was third. Heidi Corbett with 2:07.91 will get in the 13-14 final as the fastest qualifier. Amber Hinton there, 2:08.17. She'll be in the 15 years final. On we go to Heat 8. Our swimmers in Heat 8 on the far side of the pool. We have Willow Harrison for City of Sheffield. Then it's Lily Grover for the Royal School Wolverhampton. Madison Wrens for City of Liverpool. Ava Cook for City of Sheffield. Grace Greenhalgh for City of Norwich. Ella Smith for Northumberland and Durham Performance. Alice Forrest for Northumberland and Durham Performance. Zara Kraviec for East Lothian. Emily Maxwell for Northumberland and Durham Performance. And Christina Schultz for Mount Kelly. Madison Wrens was fastest over the first 50, 29.28, followed there by Grace Greenhalgh and Lily Grover. We have 4 swimmers in this heat in the 16-year age group. In lane 9, Willow Harrison. In lane 4, Ella Smith. Lane 3, Alice Forrest. And lane 2, Zara Kraviec. And all 4 of those swimmers will be trying to get a place in their age group final in this heat. Leading at the moment, Grace Greenhalgh in lane 5. But a great turn from Lily Grover. And I think actually Lily Grover, 2 lanes from the top, is our new leader here. And Lily's in the 17-18 age group. So Lily Grover, 2 lanes from the top of the picture, is pulling away from everyone else now. She's going to turn first. 1:33.21. Second at that turn on the near side of the pool was Emily Maxwell. 1:34.14, only just ahead of Grace Greenhalgh at that turn in lane 5. We're swimming now into the final 15 metres, and Lily Grover still looking good. If anything, she's getting away from everybody else in this heat here. So Lily Grover at the top of our picture, finishing in a time of 2:05.31, season's best for her. Emily Maxwell, 2:06.16 in second place. Ava Cook in third there in 2:06.61. We'll be looking for the 16-year-olds' times here when we look at these results. For the 16-year-olds, if they get under 2:09.31, they'll be in the final. So Willow Harrison will qualify in 8th place in that heat. Alice Forrest qualifies as well in 4th place in that heat. Ella Smith at the moment, well, it's very close on whether she qualifies for the final. She has to wait and see. On to heat number 9. Our swimmers in Heat 9 are Maria Ronovskaya for Derby XL, Anna Tyers for Derby XL, Kerry Henney for City of Liverpool, Elizabeth Land for Newcastle Swim Team, Amelie Smith for Royal Tunbridge Wells Monson, Megan Barnes for Mount Kelly, Amy Monks for Swansea University, Mary Craig for Edinburgh University, Lucy Parsons for City of Liverpool, and Anna Farrow for University of Bath. Swimmers in this heat in the 17s, 18s age group, the 16s age group, and the 19s and over. Leading at the moment, Megan Barnes, turning there in 28.71, but only just ahead of Amy Monks and Amelie Smith. Amelie Smith and Elizabeth Land in lane 5 and 6. They are 16-year swimmers. We have Kerry Henney in lane 7, 3 lanes from the top of the picture, and Lucy Parsons 2 lanes from the bottom of the picture in the 17s, 18s. Anna Tyers in the 17s, 18s as well, 2 lanes from the top, and everybody else in the 19s and over. We would expect to get several qualifiers from this heat into finals. Still out in front then, it's Megan Barnes in lane 4, but now being challenged by Amy Monks in lane 3. Amy Monks looking strong now in the second half of this heat. And who's going to turn first? With 50 metres to go. The final turn then. Megan Barnes, followed by Amy Monks, and then Amelie Smith. So Megan Barnes in lane 4 in the 19s and over category. The fastest swimmer this season in the 19s and over in this event. And either side of her on the near side in lane 3, we've got Amy Monks and Amelie Smith in the 16 category in lane 5. Megan Barnes, 2:04.07, followed by Amy Monks in 2:04.29 and Amelie Smith in 2:04.40. We're looking for qualifiers for the 16s final. They have to go under 2:09.93. So we've got 2 qualifiers there, Amelie Smith and Elizabeth Land. And to get in the 17s and 18s final at the moment, you have to go faster than 2:07.13. So that's Lucy Parsons, Kerry Henney, both qualifying with their swims there. We go on to heat number 10, 2 heats to come. And the swimmers in Heat 10 are Alice Young for Guildford City, Ellie Fries for Guildford City, Hannah Capron for Repton, Shola Robinson for City of Sheffield, Holly Wilson City of Leeds, Erin Little for Mount Kelly, Annabelle Compton for Wickham District, Jessica Smelt for Repton, Catherine Renfrew for Perth City, and Phoebe Arbuckle for Warrender Baths. First to the 50-metre turn, well, there are so many very close together, but it was in lane 7, Hannah Capron, followed in there by Shola Robinson, Holly Wilson and Ellie Fries. Those swimmers all under 29 seconds for the first 50. Let's have a look then at the age categories for these swimmers. We have swimmers in the 16 age group. Well, one swimmer in the 16 age group. That's Hannah Capron, 3 lanes from the top of our picture. In the 17s and 18s, Alice Young in lane 9, Ellie Fries in lane 8, Holly Wilson in 5, Annabelle Compton in 3, Jessica Smelt in 2, Catherine Renfrew in 1, and Phoebe Arbuckle in lane 0. And 2 swimmers in the 19s and over category in 6 and 4, Shola Robinson and Erin Little. Coming up to the final turn, Holly Wilson and Shola Robinson. And also in lane 9, Alice Young, all very close together at that final turn. So at the top of the screen, Alice Young. And in the middle of the pool, Shola Robinson and Holly Wilson. Shola in 6s in the 19s and overs. Alice and Holly in the 17s and 18s. And it looks like Alice Young at the top of the picture is really challenging. Shola Robinson and Holly Wilson all coming in close together. It's Holly Wilson first, then 2:04.16. Followed by Shola Robinson, 2:04.54, and Alice Young, 2:04.81. Hannah Capron was 6th there. She's a 16 years swimmer, 2:06.43. That qualifies for the 16 years final. For 17 and 18s, we'll have qualifiers there who swam under 2:06.85. So if it's 17s and 18s and quicker than 2:06.85, then you're definitely qualified. Others will have to wait and see. This is the final heat, heat number 11. Nine swimmers in this final heat then. Alicia Massey in lane 9 for University of Surrey. Molly Baker for City of Sheffield. Evie Mackey for South Lanarkshire. Sophie Ben for Mount Kelly. Holly Hibbert for Bath Performance. Phoebe Cooper for City of Sheffield. Jessica Podger for University of Bath. Then the empty lane. And the 2 swimmers nearest to us are Madison Emmons for Repton and Emma Price for Northumberland and Durham Performance. In lane 6, it's Sophie Ben who turns first in 28.68 seconds. Second into the turn there. In lane 5, that's Holly Hibbert. And also up there, challenging Evie Mackey, 3 lanes from the top of the picture. In lane 4, Phoebe Cooper going well, and in lane 3, Jessica Podger. So a group of 5 swimmers here as we get to the halfway point with an advantage over the rest. Not much between the first 4 at the turn. Less than 1/10 of a second between the first 4 there. Sophie Ben, Holly Hibbert, Jessica Podger and Evie Mackey. So we have one 16-year swimmer in lane 7, Evie Mackey. We have 17s and 18s in lanes 8, Molly Baker, lane 6, Sophie Ben, 4, Phoebe Cooper and 1, Madison Emmons. Oh, and in 0 as well, Emma Price. And everybody else in the 19s and overs. Jessica Podger leading now at the final turn in lane 3. She's in the 19s and overs, 1:31.73 at the turn with an advantage of over 1/4 of a second over Phoebe Cooper, but Phoebe Cooper's finishing very strongly. Coming through here, and Phoebe's in the 17s and 18s age group. To get in the 17s and 18s final, you'll definitely qualify under 2:06.15. And to get in the 19s and over, you'll qualify with under 2:10.4. So lots of qualifiers there. Let's have a look on the final results. Phoebe Cooper will qualify for 17s and 18s with 2:06. with 202.29, excuse me. Sophie Bairn will qualify as well for 17s and 18s. Evie Mackey gets into the 16 years final with the time there of 204.52. You can get the full list of qualifiers at the Aquatics GB website. I think almost everybody in that final heat did qualify for their respective finals. But as I'm sure you'll appreciate, time is short. We move on to our next event, men's 200 metres breaststroke. 12 heats to come. This is heat 1. And the swimmers in Heat 1 are Mason Amiri for Witney and District on the far side of the pool. Maxwell Burdett for City of Leicester. Logan Wiggins for Derby XL. George Pearce for Winsford. Jaden Carter for Basildon and Phoenix. Matthew Sekula for Ronderkin and Taff. Cameron Baker for City of Peterborough. George Robertson for City of Sheffield. Franciscus Balsis for Guildford City. And Noah Willer for Borough of Waltham Forest Gators. First to turn, Jaden Carter in the middle of the pool. All of these swimmers in the 13-14 age group. So Jaden Carter leading, and then in lane 0, Noah Willer. And those two swimmers right now with a comfortable advantage over the rest of our swimmers here in heat number 1. We have a total of 18, in fact 19 swimmers competing in the 13-14 age group. So we will still have 9 swimmers to come after this heat. It does mean that the fastest swimmer in this heat is in with a really good chance of qualifying for the final. They should really qualify unless I've got my maths wrong. I think the winner of this heat will qualify for the 13s-14s final. So that's the sort of competition we're looking at here. A prize for the first swimmer. And anyone behind that will have to wait and see how the later swimmers perform. Going well on the far side of the pool now. Mason Amiri, Maxwell Burdett and Logan Wiggins. Those three are going to turn third, second and first in that order. And fourth at the turn there was George Pearce. Right, the winner of this heat's going to qualify for their age group final. Noah Willer on the near side is coming back now. We might get more than one of these swimmers in the final, but we'll definitely get one. So who's going to get to the wall first? It's Mason Amiri on the far side, who looks like he is pulling away in lane 9 at the top of the picture. So we're looking at PBs here in the 238 region. Mason Amiri, 236.93, that's a PB. And he'll be qualifying for the 13-14 final with that time. Noah Willer on the near side, lane 0, 238.24. He will have to wait and see, but he may well qualify for the final with that time. So swimmers there, PBs for Mason Amiri. Maxwell Burdett, 238.56, that's a PB as well. On we go to heat number 2. And our swimmers in heat 2 are Kaplan Ealer for Chelsea and Westminster, Oscar Earthroll for Lancing College, Patrick Miskovich for Hackney Anaconda, Adve Bhatia for Hillingdon, Kieran Ung for City of Peterborough, Anthony Ward for Hackney Anaconda, Ethan McMillan Cole for City of Brighton and Hove, Eden Bedward for Sandwell Aquatics, Brogan Smith for Glenrothes, and Jake Mock for Sevenoaks. Brogan Smith for Glenrothes in lane 1 is going to turn comfortably first ahead of Anthony Ward. Third at that turn in lane 0 was Jake Mock for Sevenoaks. So going very well at the moment here. Brogan Smith for Glen Rothis. And coming through in lane 4, Anthony Ward for Hackney Anaconda. Looking good. The age groups in this heat, we've got swimmers in the 13, 14s and in the 15s. The two swimmers on the far side of the pool, Kaplan Ehler and Oscar Earthroll, they're both 14-year swimmers. Also, Ethan McMillan Cole in lane 3, Brogan Smith in 1 and Jake Mock in 0. And the 15-year swimmers in this heat, Patrick Miskovich, Adve Bhatia, Kieran Ung, Anthony Ward and Eden Bedwood. Our leader, Brogan Smith, is in the 13-14 age group. And in second place as we come to the final turn, it looks like it will be Kaplan Ehler on the far side of the pool, also in the 13-14 age group. And Jake Mock, who turned third, he's also a 13-14 swimmer. Into the last 50 then. And Brogan Smith is going to qualify for the 13-14 final with this swim. So too Kaplan Ehler at the top of the picture. For the 13-14 swimmers, I can guarantee you a place in the final if you get under 2:38.24 with this swim. So Kaplan Ehler qualifies comfortably, 2:31.49, a 6-second personal best. Well done, Kaplan. Lane 2, Adve Bhatia, 2:33.82, that's a PB as well. Jake Mock, 2:34.32. There are more than 10 swimmers to come in the 15 years category, so I won't be sure about whether those swimmers have qualified for finals here, but Kaplan Ehler qualifies for 13-14, so does Jake Mock, so does Brogan Smith. Ethan McMillan Cole will qualify as well, so to Oscar Earthroll. On to heat 3. And the swimmers in Heat 3 are Lucas Sanders for Sevenoaks, Jack Smith for City of Leicester, Nico Hero for Chelsea and Westminster, Harry Douglas for Northumberland and Durham Performance, Roman Wood for University of Aberdeen Performance, Stepans Nastiuks for Stranraer Stingrays, Eden Saints for Derby Excel, Benjamin Greenslade for Tiverton, Elliot Meilleur for Nofio Gwynedd, and Rocco Murphy for Nuneaton and Bedworth. Very strong start in lane 2 for Benjamin Greenslade, turning first ahead of Elliot Meilleur and Lucas Sanders. 32.41 the split time after 50 metres for our leader then in this heat. The swimmers in this heat are mostly in the 15-year age group. We have one 13-14 swimmer, 3 lanes from the top of the picture. That's Nico Hero. And we also have a 16-year swimmer in lane 5, Roman Wood. Everybody else in the 15-year age group. So Benjamin Greenslade turning first there, 69.73 ahead of Elliot Meilleur. And then Lucas Sanders was third at the top of the picture, and Nico Hero, a 13-14 swimmer, 3 lanes from the top of the screen. So we're into the last 65 metres now then of this 200 metres breaststroke heat. And still out in front in lane 2, as he has been pretty much since the start, Benjamin Greenslade. Elliot Meilleur is keeping pretty closely behind him, and Meilleur actually was quicker over the last 50. Rocco Murphy, fourth at that turn, is swimming quicker than anyone else at the moment. He's in lane 0. You can't quite see him in the picture at the moment, but he's coming right back here, Rocco Murphy. Now he's up to third, finishing very strongly, Rocco Murphy. I'm not sure he's going to swim fast enough to catch our two leaders. Benjamin Greenslade and now Elliot Mayeur coming through. All three of these swimmers on the near side. The bottom three lanes are in the 15-year age group. And into the last 5 metres, it's Elliot Mayeur finishing first, 228.68. Then Benjamin Greenslade, 229.90. And Rocco Murphy, 230.70. PBs for Elliot Mayeur, for Benjamin Greenslade, for Rocco Murphy. And let's look at qualification, because Nico Hero with a time there of 231.75 is the second fastest 13-14 swimmer we've seen so far. He'll qualify for the final. On to heat 4. And our swimmers here in heat 4 on the far side of the pool, that is Frank Lamb for City of Peterborough. In lane number 8, Leo Talbot for Bolton Metro. In lane 7, Guangping Song for Ellesmere College. Then it's Zach Hopkinson for Grantham, Leo Condy for Poole, Vincent Wan for Camden Swiss Cottage, Hayden Sanders for Bromley, George Custer for the Royal School Wolverhampton, Jake Neves for Ellesmere College, and George Upton for City of Coventry. And George Upton, 31.33 at the first turn. Second at the turn in lane 8 was Leo Talbot, followed there by Hayden Sanders and George Custer. George Upton really going for it on this first 50, blowing everybody else away with this swim. Very, very powerful stuff here in lane 0. George is in the 17s and 18s. We have swimmers in the 13s and 14s in lanes 5 and 3. That's Leo Condy and Hayden Sanders. And in the 15-year age group, 2 lanes from the top, Leo Talbot, lane 4, Vincent 1, and lane 2, George Custer. We have swimmers in the 16 years, that's Frank Lamb, Guangping Song, Zach Hopkinson, and Jake Neves. George Upton still going very strongly here, but coming back 3 lanes from the bottom, George Custer, a 15-year-old swimmer. And there's a pack on the far side of the pool that are also working their way back and reeling in our leader. So it's George Upton turning first, 148.92, followed by George Custer there. Leo Condy in lane 5 is swimming quicker than anyone else at the moment. He's in the yellow cap, so he is coming through in lane 5. And it looks like George Custer is going to get himself into first place now as we swim towards the wall. It's Custer then, a 15-year swimmer. He'll qualify for the 15 years final if he goes under 228.68 for sure. Otherwise, it's a wait and see time. That's a wait and see. 229.62. Leo Talbot, 230.78. Also, we have to wait and see at the moment if that's good enough. Hayden Sanders in the 13 and 14 category was third there. 231.41. That's the quickest time by a 13-14 swimmer so far. So into the final, Leo Condy, 231.90, also qualifying for the 13-14 final with that swim. On to heat 5. And our swimmers in Heat 5 are Jacob Pemberton for Derby Excel, Oscar Farthing for Thanet, Jensen Pickett for City of Birmingham, Ziyang Yang for Abingdon Vale, Max Higgins for Reeds, Leon Ginther for Portsmouth North Sea, Thomas Woofenden for City of Leeds, Lachlan Taylor for City of Bristol, Ethan Collins for Stirling, and Arian Nath for Corby. We have two swimmers in this heat from the 15s age group. Xiang Yang in lane 6 and Leon Ginther in lane 4. First to turn in lane 0 was Aryan Nath. He's one of our 16 years swimmers. Jensen Pickett, second at the turn, also a 16-year swimmer. Xiang Yang, a 15-year swimmer, was third at that turn. And now going strongly in lane 6, it's Xiang Yang, pulling ahead of the rest of the field. So Xiang Yang, remember, in the 15-year age group. As we come towards the 100-metre turn, the halfway turn in this 200 metres breaststroke. And first to turn, then Yang, followed by Nath, and then Higgins. Xiang Yang looking very good, but now coming back in lane 5, Max Higgins. And these two ahead of the rest. Jensen Pickett, 3 lanes from the top, going well. In lane 4, Leon Ginther as well. And the 3 lanes closest to us, Lachlan Taylor in 2, Ethan Collins in 1, and Aryan Nath in lane 0. Xiang Yang turning first then, 1:48.51, ahead of Max Higgins. Third at that turn was Jensen Pickett. Max Higgins in second place, but Xiang Yang out in front, and he's extending his lead as he goes here. So Xiang Yang in 6, followed by Max Higgins, but Leon Ginther's coming through strongly here, and so too Jensen Pickett in lane 7, 3 from the top of the screen. And it looks like Jensen Pickett's up into second place at the moment. Also coming through in lane 3, Thomas Woofenden with a very strong finish. First to the wall though, Xiang Yang, 2:27.36. That's the fastest 15-year-old time we've seen so far. Into the final he goes for 15-year-old swimmers. Jensen Pickett, 2:30.28 seconds. In second place there, Thomas Woofenden, 2:30.63. He qualifies for the 16-year final with that swim. Jensen Pickett obviously qualifies as well for 16s with 2:30.28. Leon Ginther, 2:31.25. I think that probably qualifies, but we do have more 15-year swimmers to come. Right, heat 6 next. And the swimmers in heat 6, Patrick D for City of Coventry, Max Dawson for City of Sheffield, Quinn Austin Kelly for Skipton, Roger Davis for Bristol and South Gloucestershire, Thomas O'Brien for Stockport Metro, Henry Shepherd for Bromley, Ollie Lambert for City of Liverpool, Aman Tethi for Rushden, Adam Maref for Wickham District, and Lewis Dickinson for Nuneaton and Bedworth. And in lane 2, Aman Tethi going well, but even quicker Lewis Dickinson at the moment in lane 0. It's Lewis who turns first there in 31.87 seconds, with Tethi in 32.33, and in lane 7 Quinn Austin Kelly was third at the turn there in 32.88. Lane 5 now, Thomas O'Brien going well along this second 50, excuse me. And it's lanes 1 and 2, Adam Maref and Adam Tethi. And lane 0, Lewis Dickinson, swimming strongly as we get to the halfway point. It's Dickinson who turns first here, 69.70. Our fastest swimmer over that last 50 was in lane 5, Thomas O'Brien. So Thomas is coming through quicker than anyone else right now. And 3 lanes from the top, Quinn Austin Kelly going very well too. In this heat we've got one 15-year swimmer, Henry Shepherd in lane 4. One 16-year swimmer, 2 lanes from the bottom of the picture, Adam Maref. And everybody else in the 17s and 18s. Our leader at that turn, Quinn Austin Kelly, a 17-18 swimmer, followed by Thomas O'Brien, another 17s, 18 swimmer. And it's O'Brien and Kelly, 1 and 2 at the moment. Keep an eye on Henry Shepherd in lane 4 because he's in the 15 years category and trying to get into the 15 years final with this swim. Into the wall then, it's going to be Quinn Austin Kelly to win this heat in 2:25.53 seconds. A 4-second PB for Quinn Austin. Thomas O'Brien, 2:25.67. That's a big PB as well. And Roger Davis, 2:27.71, a season's best time. Henry Shepherd was 6th there in that heat. Remember, he's in the 15-year age group. And Henry Shepherd will qualify for the 15s final with his time there of 2:29.38 seconds. We're looking as well for the 16 year swimmers. Adam Maref, who was 7th there, and Ollie Lambert, who was 9th. The result isn't confirmed yet, so those times are still unofficial. When we get the graphic in a moment, that's when we know the results of the heat are confirmed. Looking at the times for Adam Maref and Ollie Lambert. For the 16s here. And we still have 10 16 swimmers to come, so we can't guarantee places in finals for these 16 years swimmers. But Adam Maref, 2:29.48, and Ollie Lambert, 2:32.23, both in with a chance of a place in their age group final. The other swimmers, we've got too many in their age group still to come to be sure of whether their times will be quick enough for places in finals. We move on to heat 7. And our swimmers in Heat 7 are William Viney for City of Birmingham, James Boddy for Garrioch, Rhys Burns for Chelmsford City, Cameron McQuaid for City of Stoke Cossacks, Archie Piggott for Killer Wales, Charlie Carr for Guildford City, Ryan Mills for Middlesbrough, Harry Robinson for Reeds, Harry West for City of Bristol, and Finlay Gillam for Bromley. In this heat, we've got 15-year-old swimmers in lane 4 and 2, Charlie Carr and Harry Robinson, and a 16-year-old swimmer in lane 1, Harry West. First to turn, Ryan Mills, 31.71, Harry West, 31.94, second at the turn. The other 7 swimmers we have in this heat are in the 17s and 18s age group. So everybody competing for rankings in their own age group based on the year they were born in. And going very well here, Harry Robinson in lane 2. Actually, Ryan Mills, in lane 3. Turning first there, 67.78. Then Harry West in 68.65. Charlie Carr in lane 4 for a time of 110.27. Out in front then, Ryan Mills. And he's swimming in the 17s and 18s age group. We've got 7 swimmers in that age group in this heat and still 10 to come after this heat. So Ryan Mills will be looking to set the fastest time potentially for a 17, 18-year-old so far. Harry West second at the turn, a 16-year-old swimmer. And remember, we have 15-year-olds. Harry Robinson, who was 10th at that turn, and 4th at that turn, Charlie Carr, both 15-year-olds trying to get into their 15-year final. We still have a couple of 15-year-olds to come after this heat. Right. Ryan Mills and Harry West, and it's Harry West who's coming through here. A 16-year-old in lane 1 to finish first. 2:25.20, a PB by over 2.5 seconds. And he qualifies for the 16 years final for sure. Our second swimmer there, Ryan Mills, 2:26.42. That's a wait and see time in the 17s and 18s age group. Charlie Calf was 6th there, 2:29.11, and he qualifies for the 15 years final with that time. Harry Robinson, 2:32.93, also qualifying for the 15-year final there with that swim. Well swum, everybody there. On to heat number 8. Our swimmers then in Heat 8. Johnny Martin for Perth City, Lewis Hickman for Worcester, Andrew Clavis for Warrington Warriors, Leroy Shee, who's a 15-year-old swimmer, in lane 6, Charlie Ruddle for Team Ipswich, Lachlan Small for Stirling, Joseph Hall for City of Leeds, Killian Parisi for Chelsea and Westminster, King Sum Lu for City of Salford, and Jose Rodriguez for Millfield. Leroy Shee in 6, going very well. Remember, he is the 16-year-old swimmer in this 15-year-old swimmer, I should say, in this heat. And just beaten to the wall there by Jose Rodriguez, who's one of 3 16-year swimmers in this heat. The others are in lanes 5 and 4, Charlie Ruddle and Lachlan Small. Everyone else is in the 17s and 18s category. So Leroy Shee, our leader, and it looks like in lane 7, Andrew Clavis in the orange hat for Warrington Warriors is challenging and trying to get up on his shoulder right now. So those two, and on the near side in lane 0, Jose Rodriguez, all going very well as we reach the halfway point in this 200 metres breaststroke heat. It's Shee, and then Rodriguez, and then Clavis, and these three way out ahead of the rest right now. Leroy Shee in the 15 years age category. Andrew Clavis in the 17s and 18s. Up to the final turn we come. Jose Rodriguez is still hanging on with them. He'll be third at this turn though. Clavis turning first, 1:46.92, followed by Leroy Shee, and then Jose Rodriguez. Remember, we have 2 16-year-olds in the middle of the pool as well, Lachlan Small and Charlie Ruddle, trying to get in the 16-year final with their swim here. Our leader then, coming to the wall, is Andrew Clavis, and he's got a PB of 2:26.58. He is going to beat that quite comfortably here. He sets a time, a PB 2:23.55, a 3-second personal best. Jose Rodriguez came through to get second, 2:24.33, a PB as well. And third, Leroy Shee, 2:24.79, also a significant PB. Clavis 2:23.55, and that should get into the final for 17s and 18-year-olds. I can confirm some other final places though. Leroy Shee into the 15 years final. Our fastest 15-year-old swimmer so far. And in the 16-year age group, anyone who swam quicker than 2:29.48 would have qualified for sure there. On to heat number 9. And our swimmers in Heat 9 are Toby Bullock for Midlothian, Benjamin Pedergill for Camden Swiss Cottage, Jeremy Carnegie for Whitgift, Alexander Granado for Oakhampton Otters, Casper Wilk for Mount Kelly, Matthew Day for Northumberland and Durham Performance, Henry Guppy for Millfield, Joseph Bale for Mount Kelly, Fraser Dow for Perth City, and Hugh Mason-Williams for City of Birmingham. 3 names from the top of our picture in the yellow cap, Jeremiah Carnegie, leading to the 50-metre turn. Casper Wilk in lane 5, second there with a long gliding stroke. You can see the difference in the styles for some swimmers, and a great turn there from Casper Wilk in lane 5, moving from second place at the wall into first. So very impressive work off the wall from Casper Wilk. And now coming through in lane 6, Alexander Granado. In this heat then, the age group breakdown, we have a 15-year-old swimmer 2 lanes from the top of the picture, Benjamin Pedergiel. We have a 13-14 swimmer 3 lanes from the bottom of the picture, Joseph Bale. We have 16-year swimmers in lanes 7 and 1. That's Jeremiah Carnegie and Fraser Dow. Everybody else in the 17s and 18s age category. Coming through now very strongly then, Alexander Granado in lane 6 in the 17s and 18s. And Casper Wilk also in the 17s and 18s. 1 lane closer to us in lane 5 in second place. It looks like third at this turn will be Benjamin Pedergiel, a 15-year swimmer, remember. And third at the turn, Henry Guppy, also in the 17s and 18s age group. Into the last 50. And in the blue cap, it is Alexander Granado for Oakhampton Otters. Alexander's PB, 2:23.22. I wonder if we can get close to that here. 2:23.22 would be a PB. It's going to be very close. 2:23.22, can he beat that? 2:23.16, he does by 6/100ths of a second. Casper Wilk, 2:24.21 in second there. Benjamin Pedergiel, 2:25.22. That makes him the second fastest swimmer in our 15 years category, and he qualifies for the 16 years final as a result. In the 16 years then, Fraser Dow and Jeremiah Carnegie, both qualifying for the 16 years final. Joseph Bale, 9th there, 2:29.6, our fastest 13-14 swimmer there. He qualifies as the fastest qualifier for the 13-14 final. For 17s and 18s, if you went faster than 2:25.67 in that heat, you are in the final. So that is Granado, Wilk and Guppy. Other swimmers wait and see. Here's heat 10. The swimmers in heat 10 are Jasper Hall for Newcastle swim team, Royas Kringelis for City of Glasgow, Frederick Beasley for Poole, Wilfred Lee for Millfield, William Tonks for Repton, Harvey Freeman for Loughborough University, Toby Mackay-Champion for Oxford University, Angus Allison for University of Stirling, Charles Kershaw for Swansea University, and Ryan Flood for Leander. So we're into the last 3 heats, and that means that we are circle seeding. We don't have all of our fastest 10 swimmers in the fastest heat. We mix up the fastest 30 swimmers in the last 3 heats. So you get a wider spread of performances in these 3 heats. But we will, of course, keep an eye on who is qualifying for various age group finals as we go along. Our leader then here in lane 4 is Harvey Freeman. And Harvey has swum 2:15 this season for this event. So that would be significantly faster than we've seen from anyone so far. 2:23 is our fastest time so far. And Harvey is capable of 2 minutes 15 seconds. In terms of age groups here, well, we've got a 16-year-old swimmer, Wilfred Lee, in lane 6 in the green cap for Repton. We have 17s and 18s swimmers, 2 lanes from the top, Royas Kringelis in lane 8, then in 7, Frederick Beasley, and in 5, William Tonks. Also, 17s and 18s, so we've got Jasper Hall in lane 9 and Ryan Flood in the 2 outside lanes. Into the last 50 then, Harvey Freeman dominating. Looking very strong here. 2:15 would be his best time. He's not going to be as quick as that, but we'll be checking on qualification here for the 19s and over final. He sets the fastest time by anybody so far, 2:17.68 seconds. So that will qualify for the 19s and over final there, Harvey Freeman. Second was William Tonks in the 17s and 18s, 2:19.79. That's a qualifying time for the 17s and 18s final for sure. And we had a joint third place there, Toby Mackay champion and Frederick Beasley. For 17s and 18s, anything under 2:25.67 is guaranteed a place in the final. So Royas Kringlis has to wait and see. All the other 17s and 18s qualified there. Well swum, everybody. On to heat 11, 2 heats to come then. And the swimmers in heat 11 are William Irvine for Mount Kelly, who's a 16 years swimmer. Jacob Barnett for Northumberland and Durham Performance. Donald Bissett for University of Stirling. Charlie Joe Hallett for Plymouth College Aquatics. Joshua Mitchell for Edinburgh University. Rory Dixon, University of Stirling. Jamie Stedman, Bristol and South Gloucestershire. Maxwell Anderson for City of Cardiff. Alexei Denisov for Plymouth College Aquatics. And Edward Robinson for Chelsea and Westminster. First to turn in lane 2, Maxwell Anderson in the 19 years and over age group. And second at that turn in lane 4 was Rory Dixon, also a 19s and over swimmer. And in third place at the moment, I would say, 3 lanes from the top of our picture, is Donald Bissett for University of Stirling. Remember, William Irvine at the top of our picture there is a 16-year swimmer in the white cap. And we have 17s and 18s, Edward Robinson and Alexei Denisov in the lanes closest to us. Also Jamie Stedman in 3 and Jacob Barnett in lane 8. Anderson, Dixon and then Bissett at that turn. All 3 of those in the 19s and overs. And out in front here then, it's Maxwell Anderson. At the final turn, 140.18. Followed by Rory Dixon in 141.83. And then Bissett in 142.92. William Irvine, 148.90. Ninth there, but a 16-year-old swimmer, remember. So going pretty well here in this heat. Maxwell Anderson is going to win the heats. That much is clear. And we're looking for his finishing time then. 2:15.89. The fastest we've seen by anyone so far. Rory Dixon, 2:17.99. Joshua Mitchell, third there in 2:19.38. William Irvine, 16-year-old swimmer, 2:26.42. He qualifies for the 16 years final. Well done there. In terms of 17s and 18s, looking further down, we have qualifiers. Well, we have one guaranteed qualifier, Jamie Stedman, in the 17s and 18 final with that swim. Maxwell Anderson definitely qualifying for the 19s and over. And we have one more heat to decide the final places in finals. Here it comes, heat 12. Our swimmers then in heat 12. Harry Mack for Portsmouth North Sea, Ridian Shepherd for City of Cardiff, Charlie Rogers for Basildon and Phoenix, Ryan Griffiths for City of Sheffield, Joshua Inglis for Mount Kelly, George Smith for University of Stirling, Rafe Dobson for University of Stirling, Vadim Bosch for Loughborough University, Edward Markle Whittles for Chelsea and Westminster, and Lucas Lovell for Portsmouth North Sea. two swimmers in the outside lanes here. Harry Mack in 9 at the top of the picture and Lucas Lovell at the bottom of the picture are 16-year swimmers and trying to get in the 16s final here. Now we have 3 in the 17s and 18s age group. In 8, Ridian Shepherd, 7, Charlie Rogers, and 5, Joshua Inglis. Everybody else 19s and over. George Smith in lane 4, out in front, followed here by Joshua Inglis, and they are in 2 different age categories, competing for places in 2 different finals. George is in the 19s and overs, and Joshua in the 17s and 18s. George Smith then, 64.43 at the halfway point. George has got a PB of 2:12. He has swum 2:12 this season. And everybody else trying to keep up here. Going well in lane 6 now. Ryan Griffiths, also a 19s and over swimmer. Final turn, George Smith out in front. Then Griffiths. And now Vadim Bosch coming up as well. Vadim, the quickest in the pool at the moment, 3 lanes from the bottom of the picture. He swam the last 50 metres in 35 seconds. I think, to be fair, George Smith was even quicker, but of the rest, certainly Vadim is swimming quicker than anyone else, 3 lanes from the bottom and coming through strongly. So it's George Smith, then Ryan Griffiths and Vadim Bosch. Fastest time we've seen so far was 2:15.89. George Smith faster than that. Of course, into the 19s and over final. Vadim Bosch, 2:17.99, also qualifying for his final. Ryan Griffiths, 2:18.22. That's a place in the 19s and over final for him. Look out for the 16s swimmers here. They were 9th and 10th, Lucas Lovell and Harry Mack, 2:26 and 2:28, but they both qualify for the 16 years final with those swims. So that's 9th and 10th, both qualifying there. For 17s and 18s, they needed to go faster than 2:24.21. So all of our 18-year-old swimmers there qualified for their final. Joshua Inglis, Ridian Shepherd, and Charlie Rogers. And to get into the 19s and over, 2:21.34 was the cut-off. So that means George Smith, Vadim Bosch, Ryan Griffiths, and Rafe Dobson all qualify. Edward Markle Whittles misses out by half a second. Well done, everyone, there in the men's 200 metres breaststroke. Our next event is women's 200 metres backstroke. We have 12 heats, and in lane 1 we have 6 swimmers. So in Heat 1, our swimmers are Matilda Boyce for Bracknell and Wokingham, Olivia Knox for Wigan Best, Georgia Alcock for City of Liverpool, Heidi Wren in lane 4, who had that magnificent start in the blue cap, Holly Gent for City of Leicester, and Maya Orphanidis for Chelsea and Westminster. We've got 5 swimmers in the 13-14 age group, and Heidi Wren in the 17s, 18s in this heat. First to turn then was Heidi Wren in 32.60 seconds. And second at the turn was Georgia Alcock, City of Liverpool, a 13s, 14s swimmer. So 4 lengths to the pool on backstroke. And Heidi Wren going well in lane 4. She will turn first at the halfway point. Second at the turn, Georgia Alcock. Third then, Matilda Boyce, followed by Olivia Knox, Holly Gent, and Maya Orphanidis. Heidi Wren going well, and then in lane 5, Georgia Alcock second, but coming through strongly now, Olivia Knox and Matilda Boyce in lanes 6 and 7. Coming up to the final turn then. And first to the wall, Heidi Wren, followed by Georgia Alcock, and then Olivia Knox. Heidi Wren out on her own. And looking very good, it has to be said. The PB for Heidi Wren is 2:22.51. She's got a season's best of 2:27 though. We're going to be on for a season's best here for Heidi Wren. But look at this race among the others. The three swimmers in 5, 6 and 7. Georgia Alcock, Olivia Knox and Matilda Boyce. And they finish in that order with just 0.2 of a second between them. Great race between those three swimmers. And they are all in the 13-14 age group. So they set the benchmark there for the 13s and 14s so far as well. Heidi Wren setting the benchmark for the 17s and 18s with 2:24.35. Good swims there. We move on to heat number 2. Our swimmers here in Heat 2 are Paige Taswell for Taunton Dean, Molly Brennan for Winsford Swimming Club, Emma Cushion for City of Peterborough, Autumn Claxton for Mount Kelly, Ara Gill for Carnegie, Elkie Foster for City of Leeds, Heather Clubb for Aberdeen Dolphins, Amelie Mirza for Hillingdon, Tyler J. Thomas for Medway Maritime, and Lexi O'Connor for Basildon and Phoenix. In this heat, we have 13-14 swimmers in lanes 9, Paige Taswell, lane 6, Autumn Claxton, lane 4, Elkie Foster, lane 2, Amelie Mirza, and lane 1, Tyler Jade Thomas. We also have 3 15 years, I should say, in lane 7, Emma Cushion, in lane 5, Ara Gill, and in lane 3, Heather Clubb. So in lane 2, 3 lanes from the bottom of the picture, Amelie Mirza swimming strongly, and in lane 6, Autumn Claxton going well right now as we come into the 100-metre turn, the halfway point in the race. And it's Mirza in 109.83 seconds, ahead there of Tyler Jade Thomas. Tyler Jade turning in 110.08. Autumn Claxton in lane 6 coming through now. So on the near side it's Tyler J. Thomas and Amelie Mirza. And on the far side, Autumn Claxton, Emma Cushion and Paige Taswell in the outside lane at the top of the screen there. Going well too. Final turn then, and it's Tyler J. Thomas ahead of Autumn Claxton and Emma Cushion. And it looks like Tyler Jade is going away from everybody else here. Tyler Jade, a 13 years swimmer, born in 2012. In 6 and 7, Autumn Claxton. Autumn's in the 13-14s, and Emma Cushion in the 15 years age group. But it's Tyler J. Thomas who touches first here, 2:24.51. Exactly 2 seconds quicker than she's ever swum before. Emma Cushion, 2:25.41, more than a second quicker than she's swum the event before. Autumn Claxton with a PB as well, 2:25.68, and Paige Taswell, 2:26.18, also with a PB there. So Tyler J. Thomas, 2:24.51. Just a shade slower than our fastest time so far from Heidi Wren, but it is the fastest time by a 13:14 swimmer so far. And I would expect that would qualify for the 13s-14s final. We go on to heat number 3. Our swimmers here in heat number 3 are Grace Nichols for Pembrokeshire County, Matilda Bassindale for Portsmouth Northsea, Ailsa Main for City of Bristol, Sadie Roberts for Mount Kelly, Madison Notley for Medway Maritime, Clara Guinness for Repton, Honor Fox for City of Cardiff, Jessica Jones for Warrington Warriors, Megan Daniel for Carradon, and Sarah Dew for Leicester Sharks. Lane 9, Grace Nichols is a 15 years swimmer, turning first in 32.94 seconds. Second at that turn in lane 1 was Megan Daniel. Third at that turn was Ailsa Main for City of Bristol. We have 5 15 years swimmers in this heat. They are the 4 swimmers on the far side of the pool: Grace Nichols, Matilda Bassindale, Ailsa Main and Sadie Roberts. And then 2 lanes from the bottom of the picture, Megan Daniel. And we also have 2 16 years swimmers, 3 lanes from the bottom of the picture, Jessica Jones, and in the middle of the pool in lane 5, Madison Notley. Megan Daniel leading there, Grace Nichols second, then Clara Guinness, Honor Fox and Madison Notley. And we're settling in now on the third 50. And it looks like Grace Nichols on the far side of the pool might be just ahead of Clara Guinness. We'll get a better view when we switch camera here to look at the turn. And it is Clara Guinness actually in lane 4 who will turn first, with Megan Daniel second. 1:47.16 for Megan Daniel. But Clara Guinness looking strong over that last 50. Jessica Jones 3 lanes from the bottom in the yellow caps, going strongly as well right now. 3 lanes from the bottom in the yellow. Looks like she might be challenging Megan Daniel. And I wonder if she can get close to Clara Guinness as we get closer to the wall now. Megan Daniel up into second place and possibly into first. Look at this strong finish. Well done, Jessica Jones. 2:23.13. Followed by Clara Guinness and Megan Daniel. So Jessica Jones, 2:23.13 there. That's a PB by over 2 seconds. Clara Guinness, 2:23.48, a season's best time. Megan Daniel, 2:24.02, almost 2 seconds faster than she swam the event before. And we've just got a slight delay here, I think, before we start the next heats. So I think the officials just have to check something before we get everything ready for heat number 3. So the result not confirmed yet for heat number 3. We'll know it's confirmed when we get the graphic on screen. That will tell you that everything is confirmed by our officials. Jessica Jones with that 2:23.13 in the heat. That's the fastest we've seen so far. And we'll see if that time is confirmed. Sometimes we have to check whether or not the touch pads have been touched correctly. Make sure everything is in full working order to make sure everything is fair for all of the swimmers. That is the main thing. We do have an official result now. 2:23.13 confirmed as the winning time there for Jessica Jones, the fastest swimmer so far. Clara Guinness second, 2:23.48. So those times are confirmed for the swimmers. On to heat 4. Our swimmers here in Heat 4 are Sophia Prosser for Torfin Dolphins, Mia Garner for Borough of Harrow, Ellen Winstanley for City of Hereford, Ellie Hull for City of Birmingham, Abigail McInerney for Inverclyde, Gwen Salmon for Rhondda Kinnan-Taff, Lucia Lopez for City of Milton Keynes, Summer Smith for Basildon and Phoenix, Heidi Corbett for Guildford City, and Alexandra Nerney for Hatfield. Lane 4, Gwen Salmon will turn ahead of everybody else here. 33.36 at the turn, followed by Lucia Lopez for City of Milton Keynes in 33.56 seconds at that turn. So these two out in front. Lanes 4 and 3, Gwen Salmon and Lucia Lopez. In this heat, we have got swimmers in the 13-14 age group, 5 of those. Sophia Prosser in 9, Mia Garner in 8, Ellie Hull in 6, Summer Smith in 2, and Heidi Corbett in 1. We also have a 15-year swimmer in lane 0, Alexandra Nerney. 2 16s in 7 and 5, Ellen Winstanley and Abigail McInerney. And our other 2 swimmers in 3 and 4, Gwen Salmon and Lucia Lopez, our leaders. They're in the 17s and 18s age group. 2 lanes from the top, then Mia Garner, a 13-14 swimmer, looking very good. And another 13-14 swimmer at the top of the screen there in Sophia Prosser. Ellie Hull as well in 6. So you've got the 2 swimmers leading in 3 and 4, both in the 17s and 18s. And then that group of 3 on the far side of the pool are all 13-14 years swimmers. So as we come into the last 25 metres, Gwen Salmon and Abigail McInerney. Mia Garner is finishing strongly as well. What sort of time will we get here? Touching the wall first in lane 3, Lucia Lopez. Her time is 2:23.39. I know it's not on screen, but I can tell you that was the time, the winning time. Gwen Salmon, 2:24.28. Mia Garner, 2:24.53. The rest were Ellie Hull in 4th, then it was Summer Smith, Ellen Winstanley, Sophia Prosser, Alexandra Nerney, Heidi Corbett, and Abigail McInerney. That was the order that the 10 swimmers finished in there. And confirming those times then, good swims for Mia Garner, Ellie Hull and Summer Smith, and Sophia Prosser and Heidi Corbett, all in the 13-14 age group. On we go to heat number 5. The swimmers in Heat 5 with 2 lanes empty, so 8 swimmers competing. Rose O'Brien for Portsmouth North Sea on the far side of the pool. Saskia Spencer for Crawley and Jessica Medlicott for Dunstable. And then the bottom half of swimmers there. Olivia O'Mahony for Cockermouth, Jessica Gable for Royal Tunbridge Wells Monson, Nicole Maynard for Basildon and Phoenix, Megan Ormiston for Stockport Metro, and Elsa Dodds for Tigers of Jersey. Lane 8 and lane 4 will be first and second at this turn. Saskia Spencer in 8 and Olivia O'Mahony with exactly the same time at 50 metres, 32.82 seconds. Third at that turn was Jessica Gable in lane 3. And our swimmers in this heat, heat 5, well, we've got 13, 14-year swimmers in 9 and 6. Well, we don't have a swimmer in 6, so that's Rose O'Brien, the only 13, 14 swimmer competing in this heat. We also have 15-year swimmers. The bottom 2 lanes as we look, Elsa Dodds, Megan Ormiston, and 2 lanes from the top, Saskia Spencer. And 1 16-year swimmer, Nicole Maynard in lane 2. 3 lanes from the bottom of your screen there. Out in front then, Olivia O'Mahony. She swims in the 17s and 18s age group. And looking good right now. Going well in lane 8, Saskia Spencer will turn second. So it's O'Mahony and then Spencer at this turn. Spencer, remember, in the 15 years age group. Third at the turn there was Jessica Medlicott, followed by Nicole Maynard, Elsa Dodds, Jessica Gable, Megan Ormiston, Rose O'Brien, and Olivia O'Mahony going strongly here. The fastest time we've seen so far, remember, 2:23.13. I think we're going quicker than that in this heat. It is Olivia O'Mahony, 2:22.13 seconds. Our fastest time so far. Then Saskia Spencer, 2:23.20. We'll keep an eye on our 13, 14-year swimmer here. In 8th place, that's Rose O'Brien, 2:27.55. That's not quite going to qualify for the final for the 13s, 14s. For the 15 years, well, we've still got 11 swimmers to come. So the fastest 15-year time so far is set by Saskia Spencer at 2:23.20. So that's a wait and see time. On to heat number 6. Our swimmers in Heat 6 are Chloe Brotherton for Northumberland and Durham Performance, Kate Schillinger for Winsford, Isla Ince for Guildford City, Erin Ferris for Cumbernauld, Alicia Bethel for Wickham District, Emily Collins for Guildford City, Evie Allen for Taunton Dean, Zara Kraviec for East Lothian, Daisy Darcy for Wigan Best, and Janie Finch for City of Leicester. Lane 2 and lane 6 look like they'll be the first to turn here. Zara Kraviec and Erin Ferris. And Chloe Brotherton actually in lane 9, getting in between them at that turn. 32.86, the fastest at the 50-metre split. Our swimmers in this heat. We've got 13, 14 swimmers in lane 9. At the top of the picture, Chloe Brotherton. And 2 lanes from the bottom, Daisy Darcy. We have 15-year swimmers. Lane 8, 2 lanes from the top, Kate Schillinger. Lane 4, Emily Collins. And lane 0, nearest to us, Janie Finch. We have 16-year swimmers. In lane 7, Isla Ince. And lane 2, Zara Kraviec. And the 17s and 18s are Erin Ferris, Alicia Bethel, and Evie Allen. So we're keeping our eye on the positions in all of those age groups, effectively competing in separate competitions in these heats, these swimmers. looking for rankings in their own age groups, regardless of where they finish in their heats. It's all about the times. And going well in lane 6 now, Aaron Ferris in the 17s and 18s in the yellow cap, turning first then in 146.15. But Daisy Darcy, second at the turn, took some time off Aaron Ferris there. And she's had a good turn as well, Daisy Darcy. So 2 lanes from the bottom of the picture. Daisy Darcy's finishing strongly. Isla Ince 3 lanes from the top in lane 7 is in the 16-year age group. And remember, Chloe Brotherton, right at the top of the picture, is in the 13s, 14s, just like Daisy Darcy, who's 2 lanes from the bottom of the screen. First to finish will be Aaron Ferris, who's got a PB of 2:23.08, and she beats that, 2:22.94. Isla Ince, second there with 2:23.30. That's a season's best. Emily Collins, 2:24.10 in third place. Daisy Darcy, 2:24.44, qualifies, I would think, for the final of the 13s and 14s with that time. Everybody else has to wait and see. Chloe Brotherton could qualify for the 13s, 14s there with 2:26.71, but it's not guaranteed. She'll be waiting on other swimmers. Everybody else waiting on other swimmers as well. We've got plenty of swimmers still to come in all of the age groups at the moment. So if we've got more than 10 swimmers to come in any age group, then we just can't be sure at this stage what time is required to qualify. On we go now to heat number 7. And the swimmers in heat 7 are Charlotte Jezard for City of Bristol, Annabelle Neal for Middlesbrough, Grace McDonald for Grantham, Lucy Parsons for City of Liverpool, Asha Mahanta for Worcester, Maisie Chambers for Sevenoaks, Lily Horton for Wirral Metro, Kate Roberts for City of Liverpool, Ruthie Galloway, City of Oxford, and Julia Elvidge for Royal Tunbridge Wells, Monson. And going very well here, Grace McDonald in lane 7, a 16-year-old swimmer, turning first. 32.24 seconds. Julia Elvidge, 32.74 at that turn. Then Charlotte Jezard, third at the turn. We have one 15-year swimmer here, 2 lanes from the top, Annabelle Neal. We have 3 16-year swimmers, Grace McDonald, our leader, up in lane 7. And then the 2 lanes closest to us, Kate Roberts and Ruthie Galloway. Our other 5 swimmers are all in 17s and 18s age group. So out in front then, Grace McDonald, 67.52 at that turn. Second at the moment in lane 5, or lane 4 rather, Maisie Chambers for Sevenoaks. Maisie's in the 17s and 18s age group. Julia Elvidge at the bottom of the screen there. 13s and 14s. Over we go then. McDonald, then Elvidge. Third at the turn, Maisie Chambers, then Lily Horton. 3 lanes from the top, then Grace McDonald. Swimming in the 16-year age group. As we come through to the last 10 metres then, Grace McDonald for the 16 years age group, 2:20.73 seconds. Second there was Lily Horton, 2:23.27. Then Julia Elvidge in 2:23.29. To get into the 13s and 14s final, We're looking here for Julia Elvidge, 2:23.29, and she does that, the fastest 13-14 swimmer so far, in third place there. For 15-year-old swimmers, Annabelle Neal, she finished there in sixth place with 2:24.39, and that's a wait and see time for a place in the 15 years final. For 17s and 18s, if you got under 2:22.94, you qualified there. We can't guarantee a place in the final for anyone from that heat at the moment for 17s and 18s. On to heat 8. And the swimmers in heat 8 are Phoebe Adams for Northampton, Emily Chischek for Northampton, Isabel Mather for City of Cambridge, Rosalie Anderson for City of Cardiff, Tegan Matthews for Guildford City, Charlotte Gower for Rugby, Aoife Dwight-Clark for Nottingham Gwynedd, Eve Parkin for York City, Amy Fielding for Camden Swiss Cottage, and Erin Barber for Norwich Swan. 3 lanes from the top of the picture, Isabel Mather, City of Cambridge, is going to turn first here, going over in 32.30 seconds. Second at the turn, Charlotte Gower in 32.88, ahead of Amy Fielding and Erin Barber. We have 3 swimmers in the 15 years age group here. Rosalie Anderson in lane 6, and in the 2 lanes closest to us, Amy Fielding and Erin Barber. 4 swimmers in the 16 years, Phoebe Adams on the far side of the pool, and then in lanes 4, 3 and 2, Charlotte Gower, Aoife Dwight-Clark and Eve Parkin. And there are other 3 swimmers, Emilia Chischek, Isabel Mather and Tegan Matthews, are all 17s and 18s. So our leader, Isabel Mather, is one of the 17s and 18 swimmers. Second at that turn, Amy Fielding is a 15 years swimmer. So we have to bear that in mind as the heats go through, that swimmers qualify for different finals with their performances in these heats. And still out in front then as we come to the final turn, it is Isabel Mather in lane 7. But in lane 1, Amy Fielding, I think, getting closer, knocking half a second off the lead there, and Eve Parkin in lane 2, actually swimming quicker than anybody else at the moment. So both Eve Parkin and Amy Fielding on the near side going quicker than Isabel Mather on the far side. And it's going to be pretty close between these 3 swimmers the way things are going when we get to the wall. Isabel Mather on the far side in the 17s and 18s. Eve Parkin in lane 2 is in the 16s. Amy Fielding's in the 15s. So they're in 3 different age categories, these 3 swimmers who are going to touch first, second and third. It's Parkin, then Mather, then Fielding. 2:20.94 the time for Eve Parkin. That's a PB. Isabel Mather was second there. 2:21.12, also with a lifetime best, and Amy Fielding, 2:21.27, season's best for Amy. And looking at the results, Eve Parkin, 2:20.94. I'm not sure if that qualifies yet. It probably will, but I can't guarantee it here. Amy Fielding, 2:21.27, definitely in the 15s final with that. And Isabel Mather, 2:21, will qualify for the 17s and 18s final. Also in 4th place there. That was a 17s and 18s final. Definite qualification time. Other swimmers will have to wait and see. It depends on the performances of the other swimmers to come. We go on to heat number 9 now. And the swimmers in Heat 9 are Petra Varga for Wirral Metro, Holly Wayman for Maxwell, Hannah Murphy for Royal Tunbridge Wells Monson, Constance Logan for Crawley, Jessica Hill for Tiverton, Holly Robinson for Mount Kelly, Madeline Soper for University of Nottingham, Libby Mundy for Kingston upon Hull, Elizabeth Land for Newcastle, and Lily Rose Carr for City of Lincoln Pentaqua. Lanes 7 and 6 going well here, and lane 0 as well. First to turn in lane 0, Lily Rose Carr, followed then by Hannah Murphy and Constance Logan. Carr and Murphy actually with the same time at 50 there, 32.48 seconds. So our swimmers in this heat, we've got a 15-year-old swimmer in lane 5, Jessica Hill. Two 16-year-old swimmers on the near side, Lily Rose Carr and Elizabeth Land. We have four 17s, 18s, the 4 lanes furthest on the other side of the pool. Petra Varga, Holly Wayman, Hannah Murphy and Constance Logan. And in lanes 4, 3 and 2, 19s and over swimmers, Holly Robinson, Madeline Soper and Libby Mundy. Our leader then halfway was Constance Logan, 67.85 seconds. Swimming there in lane 6. So bear in mind the different age groups as we swim through this heat. And it looks like Constance Logan will still be in the lead at the final turn here. Turning in 1:44.19 ahead of Holly Robinson. Robinson was slightly quicker over the last 50. She cut that lead. Petra Varga at the top of the picture is also swimming strongly at the moment in lane 9. So Petra Varga, I think, might be swimming her way up into second place. It's very close between Varga and Madeline Soper in 3 and Holly Robinson in 4. But our winner of this heat is going to be lane 6, Constance Logan, 2:19.35. That's a PB by over a second. Well swum, Constance. Holly Robinson, 2:20.55 in second place there, and Petra Varga, 2:20.84 with a PB. So Constance Logan in the 17s and 18s, 2:19.34. That qualifies for the 17s and 18s final. Petra Varga in the 17s and 18s also qualifying for the final there with 2:20.84. Hannah Murphy in the 17s and 18s, 2:22 there, also getting in the final. Jessica Hill in the 15s with 2:23.15, comfortably into the final. Lily Rose Carr and Elizabeth Land in the 16-year age group. I think they're just, well, they're wait and see times for the 16s. Not guaranteed to get through to the final at the moment. Not absolutely guaranteed, but probable qualifiers, I would say. Heat 10 now, 3 heats to come. And in Heat 10, we have Coco Croxford for South Lanarkshire, Mia Collier for the University of Birmingham, Anna Green for Edinburgh University, Sophie Moore for City of Cambridge, Susie McNair for University of Stirling, Isabel Liptrot for Wigan Best, Katie Lee for City of Salford, Amy Jones for Leatherhead, Clementine Lovell for Mount Kelly, and Fionn Humphreys for Nofio Gwynedd. And in lane 0, Fionn Humphreys is going to turn first in 31.41 seconds. Going out very fast. Second at the turn there, Anna Green. We have one 15-year swimmer here in lane 2. 3 names from the bottom of the picture. That's Amy Jones. We have one 16-year swimmer in lane 1, Clementine Lovell. 2 lanes from the bottom of the picture. We have 17s and 18 swimmers from the top of the picture. Coco Croxford in lane 9. In the middle of the pool, 5, 4 and 3, Susie McNair, Isabel Liptrot and Katie Lee. And the near side, Fionn Humphreys. And the other three swimmers, 8, 7 and 6, Mia Collier, Anna Green and Sophie Moore, are 19s and overs. Fionn Humphries out in front, 66.42 at the halfway point in this 200 metres backstroke. We're into the last three heats, so there's more of a spread of the performances from the swimmers. The last three heats are mixed up. We don't have the fastest 10 in the last heat. We have a spread of the fastest 30 over the last three heats. Anna Green coming through here to lead, but Isabel Liptrot, who was second at that turn, is swimming quicker than anyone else in the pool at the moment, and she's come off that turn really well. So Isabel Liptrot in the 17s and 18s, finishing very strongly, looking very good here in the 17s and 18s. Under 2:22.94 for 17s and 18s right now will guarantee a place in the final. And for Anna Green in lane 7, who's going to finish second here. Too many swimmers to be sure, but 2:17.00 probably means a place in the final. We'll wait and see. Third there, Katie Lee, 2:18.92. Amy Jones in the 15-year category, finishing 8th there, 2:21.05. She's the fastest 15-year-old swimmer so far. We've got two still to come, but definitely qualified for the 15 years final. We've got a 16-year swimmer in seventh place there, Clementine Lovell, 2:20.42. And that is the fastest time by a 16-year-old so far. That's a guaranteed place in the final for Clementine Lovell. Just checking everything. The result isn't official until we get the screen and the graphic. Here it comes. This is the official results. For 17s and 18s, if you swam under 2:22.94, you qualified for the final. So that's qualification for Isabel Liptrot, Katie Lee, Fionn Humphries and Susie McNair. Coco Croxford's 2:25.9 won't get a place in the final. On to heat 11. Nine swimmers then competing in heat 11. Connie Davis in lane 9 for University of Nottingham. Megan Titchener for Torfin Dolphins performance in 8. Then we've got the empty lane 7. In 6 it's Molly Garrett for City of Manchester Aquatics. 5 Caitlin Ebbage for University of Stirling. Neve Ward for University of Bath. Millie Wells for Ellesmere College Swimming Academy. Amber Rigg for Mount Kelly. Evelyn Hallisey for Newcastle. And Evangeline Pearce for Basildon and Phoenix. Neve Ward turning first in lane 4, 30.98 seconds at the turn. Neve is in the 19s and over category. We've got one 16-year swimmer in this heat, 2 lanes from the bottom of the picture, Evelyn Hallisey. And we have 17s and 18s in lanes 8 and 7, or lane 8, Megan Titchener. No lane 7 here, of course. Also 17s and 18s in lane 3, Millie Wells, 2 Amber Rigg, and lane 0, Evangeline Pearce. And the 19s and over swimmers on the far side, Connie Davis. And then in 6, 5 and 4, Molly Garrett, Caitlin Ebbage and Neve Ward. Ward out in front then from the 19s and over, and Amber Rigg second in the 17s, 18s age group. Millie Wells in lane 3, also a 17s, 18s swimmer, currently in 3rd place here. So it's Neve Ward out in front. We've got one heat still to come. We've got several 19s and overs swimmers still to race, but I think Neve Ward will be on her way to the 19s and over final with this swim, 1:38.59 at the turn. And Amber Rigg on her way to the 17s, 18s final with 1:41.74 there at the turn. Evelyn Hallisey, remember, in the 16-year age group, was 4th at that turn. So we'll keep an eye on Evelyn Hallisey's time, 2 lanes from the bottom, currently in 4th place. The fastest 16-year-old time So far, I think was 220, but coming in, Neve Ward in lane 4, 213.20. Second, Millie Wells, 217.41. And third there, Evelyn Hallisey, 218.24 with a season's best time. Evelyn Hallisey's 218.24, guaranteeing a place in the final for 16-year-olds. So that's Evelyn who finished 4th there. You definitely get in the 17s and 18s final if you went under 222.94. So that's Millie Wells qualified, Amber Rigg and Megan Titchener. And the 19s and overs, well, wait and see at the moment. We've got one more heat to come. It's heat 12. So the final heats, and our swimmers are Lois Smith for Basildon and Phoenix, Ines Grimmon-Beetham for Camden Swiss Cottage, Holly Marshall for City of Cardiff, Gabrielle Freeman for Northumberland and Durham Performance, Beatrice Varley for Plymouth College Aquatics, Honey Osrin for Loughborough Performance Centre, Scarlett Major for Swansea University, Martina Karabach for Chelsea and Westminster, Erin Perman for Exeter City, and Isabel Lee for University of Nottingham. 2 15-year swimmers in this heat. In lane 9, Lois Smith, and lane 1, Erin Perman. They were 7th and 9th respectively at the turn. Our fastest swimmer, Honey Osrin, in lane 4. Sorry, I neglected to mention that lane 5 was empty, so only 9 swimmers swimming here. So Honey Osrin out in front. And second at the moment in lane 2, Martina Karabach for Chelsea and Westminster. Osrin first in 65.12, Karabach in 66.67 seconds. We have swimmers in the 17s and 18s age group in lanes 8, 6 and 2. That's Ines Grimmon-Beetham, Gabrielle Freeman and Martina Karabach. And apart from the 15-year-olds, the other swimmers are in the 19s and overs. Hopefully we can confirm who qualifies for finals when they finish here. If you're in the 19s and overs, you definitely qualify if you got under 220.84. 220.84. For the 17s and 18s, 221.13 is the target. And for the 15s, 225.41. So Honey Osrin out in front here and on her way to the final. 213.2 is the fastest time we've had so far. Honey Osrin with 214.19, the second quickest, but comfortably into the final for 19s and overs. Holly Marshall also qualifying there with 217.28 for 19s and overs. Martina Karabach 217.37. That qualifies for the 17s and 18s final. She'll be second fastest there. Ines Grimmon-Beetham 217.74, also qualifying. For 15s there, Erin Perman and Lois Smith. They both qualify for the 15s final as well. Rule of thumb, for 19s and over, under 220.84 they qualified. And for 17s and 18s, under 221.13. So I think Gabrielle Freeman just missed out on a place in the final there. To get absolute confirmation, you have to go to the Aquatics GB website. Next event is men's mixed classification, 200 metres individual medley. We have 2 heats, and in heat 1 we have 3 swimmers. So it's 4 lengths to the pool, 1 of butterfly, 1 of backstroke, 1 of breaststroke, 1 of freestyle. Lewis Jones for Aaron Tridents in the yellow cap is in the SM9 category. Bruce D in the middle lane is in the SM6 classification. And Akash Das in lane 3 is SM8. So 4 lengths to the pool, 4 different strokes to be swum. Fly back breast freestyle, and after the 50 metres of butterfly, it's Lewis Jones followed by Bruce D and Akash Das. And the swimmers are arranged so that the furthest swimmer away from the camera in the mixed classification events is expected to swim the fastest time overall. And you'll see that reflected again in heat 2, of course. So it's Lewis Jones who will turn from backstroke to breaststroke first. 1:13.84 at the turn, leading Akash Das by half a second. Now Bruce D third here, he's a really good breaststroke swimmer, so he might well close the gap here from third place. And you'll notice swimmers not breathing on every stroke. You don't have to breathe on every stroke, but the top of the head does have to come out of the water on every stroke. That is a rule that everybody has to follow, and Bruce D, as you can see, surging his way through. So as long as the head breaks the water in each cycle of an arm stroke, that is legal. So some of these breaststrokers in para swimming choosing to swim with breathing every other stroke. First at the turn then Lewis Jones, then it will be Bruce D as we go into freestyle, and Akash Das. So remember, it will be the swimmers with the 10 highest points totals who will qualify for the final. You will see the points totals appear on screen as the swimmers touch the wall. So that's what we're looking out for. Lewis Jones has got a PB in this event of 2:37.61. He's going to be very close to that. 2:37.61. Can he beat it? Yes, he can. Great swim, Lewis Jones. And you'll see there that's worth 593 points. Then Bruce D coming in 2:45.25, worth 862 points. And Akash Das 584 for 2:48.11. 800 points as a rule of thumb for most classifications is world-class swimming. So Bruce D there, 862 points, the highest total so far for an SM6 swimmer, 2:45.25. Okay, I think we're just about ready for the final heat, heat number 2. And 862 points is the target to guarantee a place in the final. 9 swimmers in the SM14 category here and 1 in SM9, Kai Bradford. Remember, this championships is acting as part of the qualification and selection process for the World Paraswimming Championships, which will be in Singapore in September. So the swimmers here can swim consideration times. They're not qualifying times, there's consideration times. The team for the World Paraswimming Championships will be announced on Monday. after the butterfly leg. Then Will Ellard out in front, 27.49. Followed into the wall by Rhys Darby. Third at the turn was Cameron Vienkem. And Jason van der Merwe in lane 4. In these mixed classification events, then you can see the pattern. Generally, the fastest swimmer on the furthest side of the pool. So it goes from fastest to slowest, and you can really see the pattern there of expected performances. Lane 7, Cameron Vienkem is first to breaststroke, followed by Will Ellard and Rhys Darby. Then Dylan Broom, Harry Stewart and Jason van der Merwe with the same time there, 65.24 seconds at the turn. So Cameron Vienkem going well. The consideration time for this event for SM14 swimmers, so for Cameron Vienkem, our leader, and 8 of the other swimmers in this heat, is 2:09.25. 2:09.25, the consideration time for the World Para Swimming Championship. So let's see if we can get anybody to swim quicker than that. Vienkem out in 1:38.93, Ellard 1:43.39, then Stewart 1:43.68 at that turn. And also remember that swimmers here are trying to get under 862 points to guarantee a place in the final. If you get under 862 points, you're definitely there. Right, Cameron Vienkem, can he get under 2:09.25? Not quite, 2:10.58, but look at the points total, 897. Followed in by Dylan Broom, 2:15.6, and Will Ellard, 2:15.66. 862 points guarantees places in the final for absolute certain. So their first 3 swimmers there, Will Ellard, Cameron Vienkem, Dylan Broom, they're all in the final. And I think everybody who got under 600 points there will be in the final. We'll see them all swim again. They'll have a second chance for the swimmers there who got over 600 points. And I think Corey Hare actually will get the 10th place in the final. Well swum, everybody there, and a second chance for most of those swimmers in that second heat to come in the final. Our next event is women's mixed classification 400 metres freestyle. We'll have 2 heats. 3 swimmers in heat number 1 in 3 different classifications. Our 3 swimmers in heat number 1 are Imogen Dodds for Northampton, Alia Lettenberger for Loughborough University, and Eliza Humphrey for Northampton. Imogen Dodds is an S13 swimmer, Alia Lettenberger S7, and Eliza Humphrey S11. So this is 8 lengths of the pool of freestyle, and swimmers in this heats have got PBs ranging from 5:16 to 5:31. I think anybody swimming 5:30 at this stage in the cycle of para swimming from this heat is doing very well. So we'll keep an eye on that. 5:30 is a bit of a benchmark for a really high level performance. Imogen Dodds, our leader, a 16-year-old swimmer. Ahalia Lettenberger is 24 years old in the middle of the pool. Eliza Humphrey, 20. And Imogen Dodds is going to swim in first to the 100-metre turn. A tap on the back there for Eliza Humphrey, our visually impaired athlete in this heat. So all three swimmers going well. Imogen Dodds furthest from us, then Ahalia Lettenberger and Eliza Humphrey. Lettenberger pacing her performance pretty well. Didn't start off obviously putting in too much effort in that first 100 and just allowing herself now to get into the rhythm and looking strong right now. That's the 150-meter turn. 5 lengths to the pool to swim. The turn time there around 2:01, 2:02 for all three of our swimmers. And we'll have our eyes now on the split times at the halfway point. It's the halfway turn coming up, 200 meters left to swim after the next turn. Anything under 2:45 at this turn will be in a really good position. And both Imogen Dodds and Ahalia Lettenberger are there. Eliza Humphrey just a little slower. Not by much. And you can tell that all three swimmers are going pretty well because they're all swimming at a pretty similar pace. And they've got similar PBs, similar season bests. And they are all swimming close to their top level right now. 3 lengths of the pool to go then after this turn. And Lettenberger now moves into first place, 3:25.53 at the turn. Followed by Dodds and Humphrey. 3 lengths of the pool to go. And credit to all three of these swimmers because they are keeping up a steady pace. 400 metres freestyle. It is difficult to measure and make sure you don't use up too much energy in the first half. But all three of these swimmers have managed to pace this race well. And we go into the final 2 lengths of the pool after this turn. Not much between Lettenberger and Dodds at the 300-metre turn. Eliza Humphrey turning third in 4:15.07. I wonder if we can get close to 5:30 for our first two swimmers here, Imogen Dodds and Ahalia Lettenberger. We might get around there if we can accelerate in the final 50 by just half a second to a second, and that's certainly possible. I think it will be close. So at the final turn, it's Ahalia Lettenberger with 4:50.15, Imogen Dodds 4:50.76, Eliza Humphrey just turning there in 4:58.52. How close can we get to 5:30 for these swimmers? We'll be just outside that time. It's going to be close. And remember, we're looking at points as well. The 10 highest point scorers qualify for finals. And Imogen Dodds comes surging through here with a time of 5:29.07. So she does get under 5:30. And that's a PB for Imogen Dodds. Ahalia Lettenberger with the season's best, 5:31.12. And Eliza Humphrey, 5:40.14. And you'll see the points totals. Ahalia Lettenberger, 6.82. 6.46 here for Eliza Humphrey. And 5.15 points for Imogen Dodds. We have to wait a few extra seconds for the result to be confirmed because the judges will inspect Eliza Humphrey's goggles as a visually impaired athlete. The goggles have to be completely black and unable to let in light. So the officials check that, and once they're happy that the goggles are completely blacked out, they confirm the result. So that's why we have a slight delay here. And what we're expecting to see is a Harlia Lettenberger with 682 points, Eliza Humphrey with 646, and Imogen Dodds with 515. And remember, a PB for Imogen Dodds there, 5:29.07. The result is official. Imogen Dodds with a PB, a Harlia Lettenberger with a season's best time. We have 10 swimmers in heat number 2, our final heat. Away we go then. Our swimmers here are Faye Rogers for University of Aberdeen Performance, Brock Whiston for London Disability, Callie-Ann Warrington for Royal Tunbridge Wells Monson, Brooklyn Hale for Cockermouth, Evie Lambert for Borough of Kirklees, Rebecca Hardy-Bishop for Jersey, Amber Haycock for Northampton, Isabella Haynes for Swim Bournemouth, Scarlett Humphrey for Northampton, and Stephanie Booth for Borough of Kirklees. First to turn, Faye Rogers, and she swims in the S10 category. Faye has already swum the consideration time for World Paraswimming Championships. Selection isn't guaranteed until Monday, when it will be confirmed by the selectors. But we do have target times for everybody to try to hit. So Faye Rogers out in front, and you would have seen that she actually set a world record in 200 metres butterfly earlier in the week. So if you were with us to see that, that was a great performance. Lifetime best swim for her in 200 metres butterfly already at these championships. So Faye Rogers leading. Second here is Callie-Ann Warrington, who's also an S10 swimmer. And third at the moment in lane 3, Amber Haycock. And Amber is also an S10 swimmer. Fourth at the turn, Brock Whiston. And Brock is in the S8s. She's already swum the consideration time for S8s as well. Fifth at that turn was Brooklyn Hale, and Brooklyn is an S9 swimmer. The consideration time for S9s is 4:46.33, but we'll go through all those times later on and let you know if anybody sets those times, beats those times in this heat. I would say the first target for everybody is to get over 682 points and earn themselves a second swim, with a chance to swim this event in the finals tonight. So Faye Rogers going well here in lane 9, and there will be 3 lengths to the pool left when she hits the wall. Faye's time, her split at this turn, 2:54.06. And then Callie-Ann Warrington, 3:04.18. Amber Haycock was third at the turn, 3:08.28. Let's check in on everybody else's times there. Isabella Haynes, 3:11.21. Brooklyn Hale, 3:11.55. Brock Whiston was 6th at that turn. Remember, points totals are what determine places in finals. So Faye Rogers turning there in 3:30.34. 100 metres to go. Second to turn with 100 metres left is Callie-Ann Warrington, 3:43.22. Next to the wall, Amber Haycock, 348.88. Then Isabella Haynes, 351.79. Brooklyn Hale, 352.01. Brock Whiston, 352.51. Rebecca Hardy-Bishop, 354.45. Stephanie Booth was next, 356.99. Evie Lambert, 4 minutes, 0.74. And Scarlett Humphrey, 4:05.54. Those were the times with 100 metres to go. Let's concentrate now on Faye Rogers then, because she is going to finish first here. She's got a PB of 4:33. This won't be as fast as that, but she has, of course, swum the consideration time in this event already. So Faye Rogers, and remember, we're looking for points total over 682 to get a place in the final. So Faye Rogers gets in the final with 827 with a time of 4:41.31. Next in will be Kellyanne Warrington. Can she get over 682 points? It's going to be very close, I think. 685. So that's in the top 10 for sure, of course. Amber Haycock, 640 points for a 5:06.32. And you see the points totals as the swimmers come in. We're going to have a delay, of course, for goggles checks because we had visually impaired athletes competing. 827 points then for Faye Rogers. The second highest point score was Brock Whiston in the S8s with 750 for a time of 5:11.90. Third with 726 was Scarlett Humphrey in the S11 category. Scarlett's time there, 5:27.15. Brooklyn Hale, I think, was fourth, 711 points, 5:09.85 for a time in the S9s category. And here we go, we have the official result now confirmed. Faye Rogers, Brock Whiston, Scarlett Humphrey. And we think about our swimmers from the first heats. Well, we will have qualifiers from heat number 1, 2 qualifiers from heat 1 and 8 there, 2 from heat 1 and the first 8, everybody down to Evie Lambert's qualifying for the final. Well, swum everybody there. We have our next event now in the pool, which is men's 100 metres butterfly, and this is swum over 12 heats. And our swimmers in heat 1, all 10 lanes filled. They are Julian O'Croy for Delting Dolphins, Zach Walker for Thurrock, Harry Willis for Newcastle, Ben Stevenson for Garston, Thomas Knoll for Farnham, Jason Lee for City of Birmingham, Zachary Callanan for Maidenhead, George Harrison for Kingston upon Hull, Nathan Broadwater for Plymouth College Aquatics, and Reese Ling for Ellesmere College Swimming Academy. First at the turn, Zach Walker, 28.45 seconds. All of these swimmers in the 13s, 14s age group. And after this heat, we have 8 more swimmers to come in 13s and 14s. So the first 2 swimmers in this heat, well, I think they'll qualify. We will see. We'll see. Let's see what times we get. Coming in lane 3 and lane 4, Jason Lee first, Zachary Callanan second. And Zachary just got the wall, the finish wrong. I think finish on half a stroke, which cost him there. So Jason Lee, 61.69 seconds. PBs for both of our first two swimmers there for sure. Nobody in this heat had swum under 62 before. So PBs for Zach Walker, Julian Ockroyd. Ben Severson was 62.11. That's a PB. Thomas Knoll, 62.35. Also with a PB. On to heat 2. Our swimmers in Heat 2 are Andrew Liu for Step Rock, Jack Hurst for Borough of Kirklees, Leo Maros for Bromley, Archie Maguire for Northumberland and Durham Performance, William Davis for Newquay Cormorants, Carol Alexander for Northumberland and Durham Performance, Oscar Earthroll, Lancing College, Nicholas Rogers for Brompton, Charles Phipps for Millfield and Oliver Ratchford for Seven Oaks. The two swimmers in the middle lanes, the yellow lanes, are in the 15 years age group. Everybody else in the 13s and 14s. So at the turn, our leader was Carol Alexander in 27.84, just ahead of William Davis and Oscar Earthroll. And it's Alexander out in front still. Jack Hurst, 2 lanes from the top, going well. And at the bottom of the picture, Oliver Ratchford, 2. But Carol Alexander is going to finish first here ahead of William Davis. They're the two 15-year-olds. Alexander, 62.25 seconds. A PB by almost a second. Oliver Ratchford, second, 61.14. Huge PB there, over a second for him. Third there was William Davis in 61.20. That's a PB by 2/100ths of a second. So well done to those swimmers with PBs. On we go to Heat 3. And the 10 swimmers in Heat 3 are Jaden Phillips for Newman University of East London, Tarek Bluck for Worcester, Oliver Hodsich for University of Aberdeen, Samuel Adams for Atlantis, Jake Battle for Repton, Henry Barker for Romsey and Totton, Alex Bates for Chesterfield, George Bailey for Exeter City, Elliot Hughes for Trafford Metro Borough and Raphael Corliano for City of Cambridge. The swimmers in lanes 4 and 5 are 13s and 14s, everybody else 15s in this heat. And leading at the turn, Samuel Andrews in 27.09 ahead of George Bailey in 27.58 and Tarek Bluck 27.64 at that first turn. First and only turn, of course, in the 100 butterfly. And Samuel Andrews now swimming very strongly on this second 50 and getting his head down as he thinks about diving in for the finish. No breaths on the last 5 strokes for Samuel Andrews, 58.54 seconds. First time under 60 for Samuel. Henry Barker, 59.45 with a PB by half a second. George Bailey, 59.86, also a first swim under 60. Tarek Bluck with 60.06. That is a PB for him as well. On to Heat 3. And our swimmers here are Robert Shipley for Middlesbrough, Jacob Bacon for City of Peterborough, Ethan Collins for Stirling, Patrick Harriman for Satellite of Macclesfield, Harry Cook for Aberdeen Dolphins, Owen Wilson for Ramsbottom, Thomas Swales for City of Sheffield, Maximus Major for City of Newport, Damien Fratchett Krieger for City of Southampton and Jack Stoneman for Portsmouth North Sea. First to turn in lane 4, Owen Wilson, who's a 16 years swimmer. We have 16 year swimmers in 3, Thomas Swales, 4 Owen Wilson, 6 Patrick Harriman and 7 Ethan Collins. Everybody else here in the 15 years age group. And 3 lanes from the top going well here, Ethan Collins, but in lane 3, Thomas Wales is first in 58.15, then it's Robert Shipley, 58.55, and Jacob Bacon, 58.6. Thomas Wales, a 16-year swimmer, Robert Shipley and Jacob Bacon, 15s. So Thomas Wales there, 58.15 a PB, Robert Shipley, 58.55. A PB by over a second. Jacob Bacon, 58.6, also a PB by 0.98 of a second. This is heat number 5. Our swimmers in heat 5 then. Elliot Griffiths for Walsall, Oscar Duval for Biddulph, James Biddick for Okehampton Otters, Jasper Harrison for Borders Elites, Adam Michael for Northumberland and Durham Performance, Harley Williams for Hastings Seagull, Oliver Linehan for Kingston Royals, Joshua Burkill for Sutton and Cheam, Martin Vermat for Camden Swiss Cottage, and Edward Hodgson for Newcastle. Harley Williams turning first, 26.33, followed by James Biddick in 27.21. We've got 3 15-year-old swimmers in this one, lanes 9, 7 and 1. That's Elliot Griffiths, James Biddick and Martin Vermat. We've got 16-year-old swimmers in 8, 6, 5, 3, 2 and 0. And 117 Harley Williams, in lane 4. And it's Harley Williams who's going to touch first in 57.43, followed by James Biddick, 57.61, and Oliver Linehan in 58.31. 57.43 then for Harley Williams. That's a first swim under 58 seconds. James Biddick, also the first swim under 58. PBs for our first 3 swimmers there. And in heat 6 we have Toby Nakamura-Drew for Plymouth College Aquatics, Louis Thorne for City of Bristol, Thomas Goldup for Thanet, Benedict McCarthy for City of Cardiff, Harrison Galloway, City of Bristol, Edward Henwood for Wandsworth, Thomas Woofenden for City of Leeds, Sebastian Williams for Bromley, Patrick D for City of Coventry, and Henry Taylor for Stockport's Metro. Lane 2 is Sebastian Williams, and he turns first in the 17s and 18s age group. We've got 16-year-olds in lane 9, Toby Nakamura-Drew, lane 6, Benedict McCarthy, lane 4, Edward Henwood, and lane 3, Thomas Woofenden. Everybody else is 17s and 18s. And Nakamura-Drew is on the shoulder of Louis Thorne on the far side of the pool. And in lane 3 going well, Thomas Woofenden. I think they'll be the first 3, unless somebody else can finish strongly. They are the first 3. Woofenden, 57.28 seconds. That's a PB. Second there was Louis Thorne, 57.71. First swim under 58 for him. Toby Nakamura-Drew, 57.78, equaling his PB. And Patrick D, 57.8, a first swim under 58 seconds for him. Let's go on to heat number 7. The swimmers in heat 7, Nebi Senguda for Highland Swim Team, Matthew Clark for Eastbourne, Lachlan Beasley for City of Manchester Aquatics, Ross Anderton, East Lothian, Eden Rowe for Northampton, James Kilpatrick for Carnegie, Charlie Rounce for Leamington Spa, Andrew Hunter for Cleethorpes and District, Lucas Thomas for Noffio Gwynedd Performance, and Yasin Kamel for Swansea University. First to turn in lane 8, Matthew Clark, 26.18 seconds, then Charlie Rounce in 26.57, followed by Andrew Hunter and Yasin Kamal. And on this second 50, Matthew Clark looking very strong. He's in the 17s and 18s. At the top of our picture, Nebi Senguda is a 15-year swimmer. We have 16-year swimmers in 4, James Kilpatrick, 2, Andrew Hunter, and 0, Yasin Kamel. The rest are 17s and 18s. And Matthew Clark sets the winning time there, 56.80 seconds. So that's a first swim under 57 for Matthew Clark. Andrew Hunter, 57.28, a PB. James Kilpatrick, 57.49, equaling his PB. Charlie Rounce, 57.90 seconds. Andrew Hunter and James Kilpatrick there in the 16 years age group. A disqualification for Lucas Thomas. Nebi Senguda, 61.19. That's not going to get in the final, I don't think, for the 15-year-olds. On to Heat 8. Well, we've got lane 5, Eamon Jaridi in the pool. We also had Toby Hodgson go in. Now, the starter did ask the swimmers to stand down before Eamon Jaridi went in, but Eamon Jaridi isn't waiting to hear from the starter. He's already walked off, so he knows that was a false start. Disqualification then for Eamon Jaridi. Toby Hodgson, though, he went in after the starter had asked the swimmers to stand down, so not a full start for Toby Hodgson. He will be allowed to swim in lane 9, and we'll continue with 9 swimmers in Heat 8. Normally, you'll have noticed we start with the swimmers still in the pool from the previous heats, but after the full start, we clear the pool. And we will start again. We will reset. Bear in mind, Eamon Jaridi from lane 5 is not swimming. He is disqualified for that full start, or faulty start, probably the correct terminology. 9 swimmers to swim then. The 9 swimmers left in the pool: Toby Hodgson for Leatherhead, Hugo Young for Poole, Rocco Giustiniani for Hackney Anaconda, Thomas Marshall for Exeter City, Aaron Bissett for Royal Tunbridge Wells Monson, Ben Gooch for Worcester, Benjamin Dalewood for Thirsk White Horse, Benjamin Roberts for Grantham, and Logan van der Meulen for Stirling. And it looks like Ben Gooch in lane 3 for Worcester will turn first, 26.25 seconds ahead of Logan van der Meulen. We've got 2 16-year swimmers in this heat: Thomas Marshall in 6 and Benjamin Roberts in lane 1, 2 from the bottom. And Toby Hodgson at the top of our picture is a 15 years swimmer. Everybody else is swimming in the 17s and 18s category. As we come into the wall then, with Ben Gooch touching first, 56.75 seconds for Ben. It's a great swim. Well done to Ben Gooch. Second there, Hugo Young in 56.92 seconds. And third was Logan van der Meulen in 57.16 seconds. Toby Hodgson was 5th there. He's a 15-year-old swimmer. 57.68, that qualifies for the 15 years final. We're looking at the 16s as well. Thomas Marshall, Benjamin Roberts, 57.6, 57.9, 57.72. They both qualify. They're both guaranteed places in the 16 years final, those 2 16 swimmers. On to Heat 9. And our swimmers in Heat 9 are Jake Chesworth for Maxwell, Benji Jeffries for South Ayrshire, Achilles Bello Armenio for Guildford City, Ralph Sarecki for Mount Kelly, Thomas Parrott for Mount Kelly, Alessandro Donofrio for Mount Kelly, Harry Chandler for Worcester, Daniel Codoverde for Stockport Metro, Elliot Dunnett for Swim Bournemouth, and Sam Smith for Skipton. Harry Chandler in lane 3 will turn first, 25.09 seconds, followed there by Elliot Dunnett, Benji Jeffries and Achilles Bello Armenio. We have one 16-year swimmer, 3 lanes from the bottom of the picture, Daniel Codaverde. Everybody else is in the 17s and 18s age group. And we've got some strong finishes from Thomas Parrott and Achilles Bello Armenio, but can they catch Harry Chandler at the wall? Not quite. Harry Chandler, 55.35 seconds. Second there was Thomas Parrott, 55.56, and then Achilles Bello Armenio. So looking here for Daniel Codaverde's time, 57.54. That will get into the 16 years final. For 17s and 18s, well, we have to wait and see with 3 heats still to swim. We're on to the circle seeded heats now, the last 3 heats, and this is heat number 10 of 12. The swimmers in Heat 10 are Ryan Hardy for Mount Kelly, Dion Edwards for Nofio Gwynedd Performance, Andrew Bertoli for University of Stirling, Ruben Rowbottom Keating for Loughborough University, Joe Litchfield for Loughborough University, Joshua Gammon for Bath Performance Centre, Abdul Jabbar Adama for Mount Kelly, Charles Simpson for Repton, Lewis Maxwell for Northumberland and Durham Performance, and Joshua Shepherd for Thurrock. Joshua Gammon in the 19s and overs, turning first in 24.44. Joshua Shepherd was third at that turn in the 17s and 18s, the fastest 17 and 18 swimmer at the turn. We have 5 17, 18 swimmers in this heat and 5 19s and over. So Joshua Gammon in 4, leading from Joe Litchfield in 5, both 19s and over swimmers. And they touch first and second. Gammon with 52.62, Litchfield 53.73, and Andrew Bertoli third there, 54.18 seconds. And well, I think Joshua Gammon, Joe Litchfield and Andrew Bertoli are all in with a good chance of their final. Abdul Jabbar Adama probably in the 17s and 18s final. It does depend on the swim still to come. Lots of fast swimmers still to swim. Here we go with Heat 11. And Heat 11 has Miles Kinlan for City of Sheffield, Ethan Stubbs-Green for Millfield, Chengzi Duan for Royal Tunbridge Wells Monson, Matthew Hamilton for Plymouth College Aquatics, Lewis Fraser for Swansea University, Jack Brown for Plymouth Leander, Jamie Ingram for City of Manchester Aquatics, Rhys Edwards for Swansea University, Samuel Sutcliffe for Ramsbottom, and Ethan Soppert-Moss for Corby. First to turn, Lewis Fraser in lane 5, 24.68, followed there by Jamie Ingram and Jack Brown. Jack Brown's in the 17s and 18s. Lewis Fraser and Jamie Ingram are both in the 19s and overs. And now in lane 3, Jamie Ingram finishing very strongly. It looks like 3, 4, 5, 6 in that lane order. Jamie Ingram, Jack Brown, Lewis Fraser and Matthew Hamilton. And that's exactly how they finish. 53.00 for Ingram, 53.42 for Jack Brown, and 53.59 for Lewis Fraser. All good swims there in that heat. So 53.00 for Jamie Ingram. That's a wait and see time for the final in the 19s and over. Jack Brown with 53.42 will qualify for the 17s and 18s. If you swam under 55.68 there, you'll be in the final for sure for 17s and 18s. And this is our final heat, Heat 12. And the swimmers in Heat 12 are Colton Dorfeld for Millfield, who's a 16-year swimmer. Gabriel Knight for Chelsea and Westminster. Jack Knight for City of Cardiff. Stefan Kraviec for Edinburgh University. Nicholas Finch for Chelsea and Westminster. Jacob Peters for Bath Performance Centre. Jamie Robertson for University of Stirling. Aidan Kay for City of Glasgow. Jensen Norris for Perth City. And Llewellyn Porter for Camden Swiss Cottage. Jacob Peters turning first, 23.82, ahead of Jamie Robertson. And third at the turn, Nicholas Finch. Our first three there, all 19s and overs swimmers. In fact, our first four, all 19s and overs. The two swimmers closest to us, Jensen Norris and Llewellyn Porter, are 17s, 18s. And on the far side, as I mentioned, Colton Dorfeld is in the 16-year age group. So how fast can we go here in the final heat? Jacob Peters, 52.54 seconds. Great swim there. 52.54. And we'll look now at the results. Jacob Peters then, 52.54 seconds. That was the fastest time set by anybody across the 12 heats. And Colton Dorfeld, 56.46. I think we'll get into the 16 years final. Llewellyn Porter and Jensen Norris may even be in the 17s and 18s as well. Okay, we go on now to women's 50 metres butterfly. 10 heats to come. And in heat 1, we have only 2 swimmers competing. This is heat number 1. So the 2 swimmers in lane 4, Ella Faulkner for Stockport Metro, and in lane 3, Martina Karabach for Chelsea and Westminster. PBs for these 2 around the 29-second mark. So let's see if we can get under 29 seconds for these 2. It's tough with just 2 in the pool, of course. Can we get under 29 seconds? It's going to be very close. 30.08 and 30.18 for Martina and Ella there. Very close to sub 30. Martina in the 17-18 age group and Ella Faulkner in the 16s. And we will have 8 swimmers in heat number 2. Had a withdrawal. I'm sure everyone would have preferred if we could have had the 2 heats combined, but that just isn't possible. Once everything is scheduled, and then there's a withdrawal. So heat 2 with 8 swimmers. 9 swimmers, in fact, 9 swimmers in heat 2. And the swimmers in this heat, Jasmine Varchez, Joanne Andrews, Maisie Jones, Sadie Hunter, Lucia Lesty, Honey Robinson, Maisie Fisher, Sienna Ramery and Mai Hayakawa. Settling in here with Lucia Lesty in lane 4, going really well. 5 of these swimmers are in the 15s age group. 2 16s and 1 in the 17s, 18s. Into the wall we go then with Lucia Lesty, 29.24 seconds, a season's best for her. Sadie Hunter, 29.27, a PB. Jasmine Varchez, 29.49, that's her first ever swim under 30 for her. Good swims, Joanne Andrews, 29.67, also her first swim under 30 seconds. And there you can see the spread of age groups. Lucia Lesty in the 16-year age group. And as things whereon I will tell you what sort of time is needed to get in the respective finals. Here's heat 3. And the swimmers in heat 3 are Ishia Howes for Gloucester City, Eva Ives, Akemi Futatsugi, Libby Shum, Heidi Wren, Agata Sherbakova, Zara Fitzpatrick, Chu Man Rachel Ho, Henrietta Chick and Isabella Nightingale Ellis. And as we swim to the wall, it looks like lane 6 here, Libby Shum just ahead of Agata Sherbakova. And the Sherbakova actually came through very strongly there, 28.80. 28.80, that's a PB for Agata. Second there was Zara Fitzpatrick in 28.95. That's a first swim under 29 for Agata. And there you go. 15-year-old swimmers there, Sherbakova, and further down, Akemi Futatsuga. We'll have finals for 15-year-olds, a final for 16-year-olds, a final for 17 and 18-year-olds, and a final for 19s and overs to come. They'll all be back for the evening session, the top 10 swimmers in each age group. On we go to heat 4. We have a slight delay before heat 4. Not sure what's holding things up, but it will be the officials who will just be checking something to make sure everything is absolutely fair for everyone before we start the next heats. You may have just heard, we're just checking the starting signal. Once the officials are happy, then I think we will be ready to start heat number 4. Here we go. Our referee calling the swimmers to attention. We're ready to start heat number 4 then. The swimmers here are Asha Mahanta, Bethany King, Amelia Fenner, Favour Umo, Ella Humphries, Isabel Brand, Lily Stansfield, Malika Onabruch, Amber Hinton and Olivia Baring. And going well in lane 6, it's Favour Umo. And she's hardly breathing. And also going well in lane 1 here, Amber Hinton as they reach for the wall. It's Hinton who gets there first, then Favour Umo, followed by Lily Stansfield. Good times there. Amber Hinton with a PB, 28.78. Favour Umo also with a PB. Lily Stansfield 28.97. 1/100th outside her personal best. And now we go to heat number 5. Well, the swimmers asked to stand down by the starter, but no faulty start. Everybody will be able to start. Here we go. Heat 5. And the swimmers here are Lily O'Neill, Isabella Sawyer, Riza Vestaduin, Madeline Hind, Shard Mohammed, Honor Luckhurst, Phoebe Wetherill, Tilly Collymore, Katie Oliver and Ksenia Mann. Going well in lane 5 is Shard Mohammed for City of Peterborough. Madeline Hind in 6 coming through as well, and in 3, or 2 I should say, Tilly Collymore. As they reach for the wall then, it's Shard Mohammed, and then Isabella Sawyer second with 29.06. Now winner in the 17s and 18s age group there, Shard Mohammed. Madeline Hind in the 16s, 29.12. That will qualify for the 16s final. So that's well swum. Ksenia Mann in the 15-year age group and Phoebe Wetherill in the 15-year age group. You need to go under 28.85 to qualify for that final at the moment. Here's heat 6. And the swimmers in this heat: Scarlett Shepherd, Grace Yardley, Olivia Greenall, Ellen Winstanley, Ashley Drake, Matilda Ashcroft, Edith Lee, Evie Mackey, Kiana Kurtzer and Kalila Smith. In lane 2, Evie Mackey's off to a good start here. And on the far side of the pool, Grace Yardley and Olivia Greenall going well. But I think Evie Mackey in the blue cap, 3 lanes from the bottom, is going well. And a strong finish here in 4 from Matilda Ashcroft. It's Matilda first, 28.71, then Olivia Greenall, 28.81, and it's a joint second. Grace Yardley also 28.81 seconds. 16-year-olds, 28.81 qualifies for the final. Anything under 29.24 will get in the 16 years final at the moment. And for the 15s, you have to go under 28.85 to be guaranteed. If you're slower than that, it's wait and see. Here's heat 7. And the swimmers in heat 7 are Lily Green, Erin Smith, Delilah Martin, Coco Croxford, Georgia Holgate, Jasmine Carter, Lucy Grant, Seren Talentire, Lily Grover and Eve Whitney. Seren Talentire, 3 lanes to the bottom, looking good. And now coming through in the middle of the pool, we've got lanes 4 and 5, Jasmine Carter, Georgia Holgate, but first to touch, Lucy Grant, 28.28. Very strong finish from Lucy. Let's have a look then at the results. 28.28 the winning time. The fastest time we've seen so far. We've got 16-year-old swimmers there. Jasmine Carter, 28.7. She'll be in the final for the 16-year-olds for sure with that time. On to heat 8. And our swimmers in heat 8 are Emily Maxwell, Miley Aram, Ailey Robertson, Abigail McInerney, Sky Carter, Lucy Grieve, Tallulah Paisley, Sophie King for Woking, Isabel Lee and Sierra Broadbelt. In lane 5, Sky Carter really pushing hard, and Lucy Grieve is going with her here. It looks like Carter and Grieve will be first and second to the wall, and it's Grieve who gets there first, 27.10 seconds, followed by Carter in 27.36. They're in different age categories. Lucy Grieve's in the 19s and overs. To get into the 17s and 18s final, you go under 28.31 at the moment. So Aileen Robertson will qualify there. Abigail McInerney's time, I think, gets in the 16s final. On to heat 9. And the swimmers in heat 9 are Gracie Owen, Hallie Harris, Ellie Kennington, Betsy Wizard, Flavia Camzol, Blythe Kinsman, Shola Robinson, Sophie Murray, Kira Morris and Jessica Huggins. Going fast in lane 5 is Flavia Camzol and Blythe Kinsman in 4 coming back. In lane 6, Betsy Wizard swimming well as well. In they go to the wall. It's Camzol, Kinsman and then Wizard. 26.82 seconds, the winning time there. Second, Blythe Kinsman in 26.98. So Flavia Camzol in the 17s and 18s age group there in 26.82 seconds. And this is the final heat, heat number 10. The swimmers in the final heat: Evelyn Toy, Eloise Cole, Shannon Stott, Isabella O'Caro, Georgina Pryor, Kate Clifton, Catherine Renfrew, Millie Harris, Charlotte Smith and Alexandra Moskva. In the middle of the pool, in the white cap in lane 5 is Georgina Pryor, and in the red, Kate Clifton. And in third at the moment in lane 6, Isabella O'Caro. And it's going to be lane 4, Kate Clifton with 27.08 seconds. Second there, Georgina Pryor, 27.59, and Shannon Stott, 27.96. So good swims there from everyone. And that is the end of the women's 50 metres butterfly. You'll have to check the website to find out exactly who qualifies for the finals. We move on so quickly from one heat to the next and from one event to the next. Our next event is men's mixed classification 100 metres butterfly. And in heat 1, we have 4 swimmers competing. And the swimmers are Corey Hare for Team Ipswich, furthest from us in the blue cap, then Samuel Black for City of Norwich, Kai Bradford for Killer Wales and Thomas Navarro Barber for Portsmouth North Sea. 2 lengths of the pool of butterfly then, 2 heats. We have a total of 14 swimmers competing, so the 10 highest point scorers into the final. And remember, the swimmers are arranged so that the swimmers furthest away in the mixed classification events are expected to go the fastest. Huge turn, by the way, there from Kai Bradford in lane 4. Underwater with the dolphin kicks. Not much to choose between our first 3 swimmers here. So nearest to us, that's Thomas Navarro Barber, then Samuel Black and Corey Hare. Swimmers here, if they get under 66 seconds, that would be absolutely brilliant for any one of our swimmers in this heat. 65.89 Corey Hare, well swum. And you'll see that Thomas Navarro Barber scored the highest number of points there, 654. So 654, 587, 555 and 549. The points there. We go on to our second and final heat, heat number 2. And the 10 swimmers in this heat are Will Ellards for Norwich Swan, Rhys Darby for Cambrian Aquatics Academy, Mark Tomsett for Bolton Metro, Jude Gunner for Norwich Swan, Rio Rogers for Basildon and Phoenix, Cameron Viencombe for Manchester Performance Centre, Jason van der Merwe for Newman University of East London, Dylan Broom for Swansea University, Rowan Brennan for Basildon and Phoenix, and Jack Milne for University of Aberdeen Performance. Rhys Darby turning first, but only by 100th of a second ahead of Will Ellards. Both S14 swimmers. In fact, we have 9 S14 swimmers in this heat. Rowan Brennan, one lane from the bottom of the picture, is an S10 swimmer. So Rhys Darby in lane 8. I should say all 3 of the swimmers on the far side of the pool have already swum the consideration times for the World Paraswimming Championships. Rhys Darby 873 points there. Will Ellard 809. Mark Tomsett 768. Jude Gunner then 59.53 gets 753 points. And Rowan Brennan, remember he's in the S10 classification, 593 points. And I think we've got the first 8 qualifying there for the final, and 2 swimmers from the previous heat, if my maths is correct. Rowan Brennan might be borderline there. No, I think Rowan Brennan has qualified. I think we've got 9 swimmers qualifying there. The first 9, Jack Milne missing out, with Thomas Navarro Barber from Heat 1 qualifying for the final instead. We have women's multi-classification 50 metres butterfly now. 1 heat to swim and 2 swimmers to compete. Nancy Jubb will go in lane 4, an S6 swimmer for Team Bath, and Iona Winifrith in 5, an S7 swimmer for Tunbridge. So in the yellow cap furthest from us is Iona Winifrith, and Iona has already got the consideration time in this event for World Paraswimming Championships. And we've got Nancy Jubb swimming in the S6 classification. Both going well here, you have to say, into a good rhythm on this 50 fly. And Iona breathing every other stroke now into the last 10 metres. How many points? What time can she swim? 718 points for 36.84. That's a good time. And Nancy Jubb, 41.42. Well, I think Iona will be part of the selection for the World Paraswimming Championships when that is confirmed on Monday. It will all be rubber stamped then and made official. We have one more race to bring you. We've got a swim off to come for a place in the women's 200 metres backstroke final for 15-year-olds. We had it's for a place as first reserve, not for a place in the final. It's to the split our joint 11th fastest swimmers from the heats, Emma Cushion and Erin Barber. So the winner of this heat will qualify for the final if one of the 10 swimmers who've qualified for the final withdraw. And I think the way to approach this for both of these swimmers is it's a chance to swim a second time as if this was a final, whether they get through to that final or not. Just takes a little bit of extra time to reset as we go from the starting at the right end of the pool and then moving to the left end. Now we're ready. Here we go. It's the swim off for 11th place in women's 200 metres backstroke for 15-year-olds. So in the black cap furthest from us, that's Erin Barber for Norwich Swan and Emma Cushion for City of Peterborough in the nearer lane. They swam 2:25.41 in the heats. So I think the big target for both of these swimmers is to swim quicker than they did in the heats. That would be a big achievement for both of them. And they turn here 0.3 of a second apart, with Barber on 33.23 and Cushion 33.53. They weren't in the same heat this morning, so they haven't actually swum side by side in this event. Emma Cushion swam in heat 2 this morning. Halfway then, and Erin Barber 69.09 out in front. And looking good. She's opened up more than a body length of an advantage here now. And it looks like Erin Barber. Emma Cushion can't see her at the moment, so that makes things even more difficult. She won't really see her until the turn. Barber turning first then with 50 metres to go, 1:45.85. And Cushion 2.5 seconds behind at the moment. Remember, these two were joint 11th in the 15 years race. So here we go. Can Emma Cushion come back? It doesn't look like it. Our target then for both of these swimmers is to get under 2:25.41. If they can do that, then they've improved on this morning's swim. And that is a huge achievement in itself. And Erin Barber does that, 2:23.29. Emma Cushion, 2:25.57, only 16/100th slower. Now 2:23.29 from Erin Barber. 2:23.29 would have been 6th fastest. So that would have qualified for the final if she'd swum that in the heats. But that just shows you a little bit of extra adrenaline helps these swimmers deliver a higher performance. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the heat session this morning. We have 2 sessions of relays to come next. We have a break now for an hour or so, and then we'll be back with men's 4x100 freestyle heats. And then we'll have another break, and then we'll have women's 4x200 metres freestyle heats, which will be heat declared winners. So we'll start to get some medals in the second session. But please come back for our next session in an hour's time, when we will have men's 4x100 metres freestyle heats to come. We'll see you then.